Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Labatt Memorial Park in the heart of downtown London, Ontario. We're here for a matchup between the London Majors and the Welland Jackfish in what will be a battle for first place. The Jackfish currently sit a game ahead of the Majors for first place in the Inter-County Baseball League as we welcome you inside to the Game Day London broadcast booth. Dylan Baker alongside Tyler Middleton once again today. Tyler filling in for my colleague Noah Smith, who is still out of the city right now on vacation, enjoying a great time at Boots and Hearts, it looks like. Tyler, this weekend for the Majors, they are playing a 3-3. This is the third game of that 3-3. It's been an okay weekend so far for London.
Started off really nice on Friday night, came back to bite them a little bit last night with a couple errors and just some sloppy plays, so they need to focus up and really, they will show up, I'm sure, for this big first place matchup.
It's a huge ball game. I mean, the Jackfish are a game ahead of the Majors. They came into yesterday tied for first place. If both teams won, they would have remained that way, but because the Majors lost to Guelph, the Jackfish beat Barrie, Welland popped up into first place, and we know that these two teams aren't really fans of each other too much.
Yeah, we're looking for some fireworks here on a Sunday night in London, Ontario. Obviously, some words being said in the last couple of games, but when you have this kind of emotion and this kind of pressure on a single game where, like you mentioned, the Majors can go ahead and tie this league up, I mean, there's going to be some emotions, there's going to be some flair. It's going to be a fun ball game.
Absolutely, and we're hoping we get this ball game in because it's looking a little dark around the park right now. A little bit of rain in the forecast. It should clear up a little later on, so we'll see if we play today. Let's take a look now at the Welland Jackfish starting lineup in this one as they line things up against the London Majors, and Owen Boone will get into the pitching matchup a little bit later. Gio Morello, Justin Gideon, Brandon Nicholson are the top three. The outfield batting 1, 2, 3, as you pointed out to me, Tyler, earlier on. Sam Cocker cleans up. James Smybert, Mateo Porcelato, Ethan Hunt, Matt Hildebrandt, and Tyler Dupuis round out a very potent Jackfish lineup.
Yeah, as we mentioned, only one player in this lineup hitting under 300 so far for the Jackfish, and the lineup hitting 314. Only one behind the London Majors hitting 318. So this is going to be a high-powered offense for both teams. We're hoping to see some fireworks here tonight.
Absolutely. Let's give you a look now at the standings in the Inter-County Baseball League this season. We've mentioned how the Majors are close to the Jackfish, a game back. The Guelph Royals now sitting 2 games out of first place after the win yesterday. Just a game back of the Majors for second. The Toronto Maple Leafs sit 5.5 out of first. Barrie at 7 out of first. The top 3 just continues to get closer and closer, Tyler.
And the Majors didn't do themselves any favors last night, obviously, by dropping that affair to the Guelph Royals. So they have to come in and just take care of business. This is an opportunity to make up for some falters last night.
Yeah, the Majors didn't really look like themselves last night in Guelph. I mean, there were a lot of errors. Robert Mullen committed 2 errors, 2 throwing errors, trying to throw guys out on the base paths. And there were ground balls that are often snagged by the Majors defense that just weren't getting collected on the infield. And so it just led to a tough night for the Majors all around.
Yeah, and this Majors defense hasn't been phenomenal this year. 59 errors to Welland's 45. So they need to do a good job of taking care of the baseball here today. You can't give this lineup any extra outs. Absolutely
not with how well the Jackfish have played this season. It should be a tough task at hand for the Majors, and they don't want to make that any tougher because if you make errors on defense, it just becomes that much harder for your pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, exactly. Extra outs just turn into extra pitches. Extra pitches turn into a tired pitcher who may leak a little something over the middle of the plate. So you really need to do the job that when your pitcher gets that ground ball, when your pitcher gets that fly ball, gets the out that he needs to get, you take care of that and get the out for him.
Well, as things get darker here, the players head onto the field, and we are almost set for the national anthems. We'll take a quick break here on Majors TV and be right back with first pitch between the Majors and the Jackfish.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah.
I have to say, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo, for any artwork that you need done, for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house, from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Get a look at home plate umpire Jeff Rose there. The umpiring crew for tonight's ball game. At third base is Nick Leffler. At first is Chris Walters, and the crew chief calling the balls and strikes for the man on the mound, Owen Boone, is Jeff Rose. We'll give you a look now at the starting pitching matchup. In today's contest, it is Rich Corrente on the mound for the Welland Jackfish, a familiar face for these majors, against Owen Boone, the ace, or one of the aces of the major staff.
Owen Boone, as you see, coming in 7-0 with a 3.28 ERA, coming off a fantastic start, 6 scoreless against the Hamilton Cardinals last time out. After giving up 4 and 6, a couple shaky outings before that, but he was able to find his footing, and hopefully he can bring that kind of energy today.
The Majors will be looking for Boone to put on a good performance on the mound, and Corrente on the other side for the Jackfish. He had one bad outing last time after a string of pretty good ones.
Yeah, Corrente, as you see, coming in 5-1 with a 5.48. We couldn't 5.40. My apologies, ERA. We cannot have two different pitchers going at each other in this game. Boone's going to bring a lot of velocity and a lot of movement, where Corrente is going to bring you more crafty lefty, veteran spotting, pitching, movement. So two very different pitchers. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight.
It should be a good contest between two good arms on the mound, as Owen Boone wrapping up his warm-ups right now. And you talked about how the Majors have committed the second most errors, is it, this season in the Intercounty Baseball League? The Jackfish have been more sure-handed in the field, and the defense going to be a factor in this one for sure. Especially coming off last night where you talked about Mullins. He had a rough night. The Gulf Royals were able to run a lot off him, and he wasn't able to keep that run game at bay. So this is going to be a big bounce-back game for him, for sure. So Gio Morello will walk towards the batter's box, and despite the dark clouds here at Labatt Park early on, there is a glimmer of sunshine, and we are going to get this one underway from the forks of the Thames as Morello greets the home plate umpire and the catcher and gets set to lead off this ball game. Morello, a high-energy guy, and in speaking with my colleague Reese Dumani of the Brantford Red Sox, Morello spent the last couple of seasons in Brantford. He was mentioning that Morello is a great guy at the top of the order, because if he's going, then the whole team will start going with the speed and just the energy, the high-octane guy that he is. So he'll be looking to start the Jackfish off on the right foot. Into the windup goes Owen Boone. Here's the first pitch of the ballgame. Morello squares to bunt. Coming in from third, Taylor Wright on the run. Throw to first is in time to get Gio Morello. So the Majors right off the hop snuff out the bunt attempt.
Fantastic job by Wright there. Just being ready for the bunt. Once he was able to crash and make the play, it was just muscle memory to make the throw over to first. But to be ready for that bunt on the first pitch, that's something special there. That shows that these teams are ready to play today.
So a great play by the Majors' third baseman, and now the big bat of Justin Gideon will dig into the batter's box. Gideon coming over from the Hamilton Cardinals earlier this season, right up there among the league leaders in home runs. Him and Cleveland Brownlee have been going back and forth in that category this season, as the first pitch from Boone to Gideon is in there for a strike.
Isn't that going to be super important today for Boone? Getting ahead of these hitters, making them in the hole, making them chase a little bit.
Here's the 0-1. Gideon rips that one, but it's foul, and Boone now well ahead in the count. It's 0-2.
Just so many different things you can do when you are ahead, especially 0-2 in a count. Now you just don't want to feed something down the middle. You want to chew those corners. You want to try and get that high velocity. You want to maybe try a curveball at the dirt. Anything but over the plate. But when you are 0-2, you just have so many other options than when you're behind in the count.
No balls, 2 strikes. Into the windup goes Boone. Here's the pitch home inside as it skips in the lefty batter's box. So 1-2 on Gideon.
Exactly what we talked about. Just a little off-speed pitch that caught the dirt. See if you can get him to swing over top. Some nice patience by the hitter there.
Boone looks in, gets the sign he wants from Mullen. The 1-2 on its way. In the dirt again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gideon not chasing.
You see Boone tap his chest there. Obviously, Mullins want that pitch a little bit closer to the strike zone. Really wasn't a competitive pitch at all, and now you're back even to the count. So you run that risk when you're going to throw those off-speed pitches outside. But if he takes 2, now you're right back even.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Justin Gideon. After falling behind 0-2, he's done a good job laying off some tough offerings. Here's the pitch home in the dirt again. So 0-2 for Boone has become a full count now at 3-2. Gideon, a guy with 14 walks, 20 strikeouts this season at the plate. Boone goes into the windup. Here's the offering on its way, the 3-2. Gideon laces that one into right field. Joseph thought about coming in, takes a bit of a funny hop on him. He barehands it. It's a 1-out single for the Jackfish right fielder.
Good piece of hitting there by Gideon, able to lay off of those pitches in the dirt by Boone and find a fastball to his liking. Just absolutely smoke it into right field, landing in front of Sterling.
Great job by Starling Joseph adjusting to that ball after the hop that he got. It looked like he'd played it perfectly, and then all of a sudden it must have hit something in the grass. He had to barehand it.
That's why you're given 2 hands, I guess.
Exactly. So that'll bring up Brandon Nicholson, the left fielder. As we mentioned, the entire outfield of the Jackfish hitting 1, 2, 3 in their lineup. Here's the first pitch of Nicholson. He lines that one softly into right field, and so it's back-to-back base hits for Welland here in the top of the first inning.
And that's just an early pitch leaking up a little bit. That was a fastball that probably went right at the belt, so he was able to just extend those hands, get a barrel, and feed it over into right field. Got to get those fastballs down. You can't leave fastballs up to good hitters. They don't have to hit it too hard. You don't have to swing hard on a high fastball. You just got to get on top of it, and you're able to drive something to a gap.
So 2 runners on for the June Player of the Month in the Intercounty Baseball League, Sam Cocker of the Welland Jackfish. He is catching in this one, batting cleanup. Gideon stands at second. Nicholson over at first. The Jackfish love to run, so they won't be hesitant to steal if they find the right opportunity as the first pitch misses to Cocker.
First pitch curveball there. Boone can't get scared. He's got to be able to go after these guys. He's got a good live, hard fastball. Don't be afraid to pour it over early in these games, even if they hit the ball a little bit.
Outside corner.
Sorry, there's a good one there, but you want to be able to hide some of those off-speed pitches for later in the game. If you show it so much early, then these hitters have just seen it.
1 ball, 1 strike to Sam Cocker. Boone takes a peek back at Gideon. Candell creeps away back to his position. Here's the offering. That one will miss low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Boone at 11 pitches, 6 of them strikes so far. Behind in the count, 2-1 here. Newton and Candell creep a little bit behind Gideon. He maintains his lead at second base. Here's the offering from Boone in there for a called strike 2.
That's a good fastball right at the knees. Is able to get on top of that, and we can see from here some really good movement on that fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. This would be a huge out if Boone's able to get it. You see Candell creeping on Gideon. Boone taking a long look. Here's the pitch. Cocker late on it, but he's able to get a piece and send it into the crowd to stay alive.
You're getting the feeling early there's not going to be a whole lot of easy outs here. There's going to be a lot of contact, a lot of short swings, the ability to foul off a lot of pitches.
Both of these teams can really hit, and they put up some tough at-bats. We talked about it in the 8th inning of that Toronto game on Friday night. The Majors, just some fantastic plate appearances. 2-2 here once more on Sam Cocker. Here's the pitch from Boone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Owen Boone has his first strikeout of the ball game, and with 2 runners on, he's able to get a big second out in this top of the first inning.
Exactly what he needed there is a strikeout. The runners aren't able to advance, obviously. A good fastball inside, that's what I'm talking about. Stay at them with the heat. Make them prove that they can get to that inside fastball before you start messing around with off-speed pitches.
So James Smybert, the shortstop, will dig into the batter's box for the Welland Jackfish to face Owen Boone. Still 2 on, but now 2 away. Here's the pitch. Smybert in the air, right field line, hit well. If it stays fair, it's going to go. And it is foul.
That had more than enough distance. Probably 20 to 30 feet foul, I would say, landing just at the fence at the back of Labatt Park. You know what it is? It's a long strike.
Exactly. It goes down to the strike in the box score. And I don't have a great view of that right field line from where I'm sitting here in the press box. So I was leaning out, waiting to see it go over the fence, and I couldn't even see it come down. It was so far foul. But he got all of that baseball. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Boone on its way. That one will miss, and it's 1-1 now.
The hardest thing from experience when a ball's hit that far and that foul off of you is being able to trust that, you know what? That means it was a good pitch.
It was, yeah. Got it in the right spot. It's a strike, no matter how you slice it. Boone ready out there on the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Takes a peek back at Gideon. Now another. Here's the offering on its way. Outside corner, strike 2. Smybert talking to the home plate umpire, Jeff Rose, about that outside pitch. Boone looking in for the sign from Mullen. Crowd trying to cheer the battery on. Boone sets. The 1-2 home. Smybert's able to get a piece and foul that one off, and another one. Tough out for the Majors.
You just got to trust yourself. Stay with that fastball. It's another good pitch that he was just able to foul off. That's where you need to live. Eventually, people are going to swing and miss at those pitches. But a really good job by the hitter to foul it off and stay alive.
That's a tough pitch to hit for James Smybert. Tough pitch to get to. He's able to get a piece. See another one here on 1-2. Boone looking in. He gets the sign he wants from Robert Mullen and comes set. The 1-2 once more. Smybert swings through it, strike 3. So Owen Boone got a quick out, allowed the next 2 to reach, and sets down the 2 after that with strikeouts to get out of this first inning unscathed.
Great job by Boone there after a couple hard hits, singles, able to settle down, make some good pitches. 2 Ks to end the day, and that's what you're going to get a whole lot of from Owen Boone, is a lot of hard pitches and a lot of strikeouts.
When he is on, the strikeouts are going to be racked up. He's got a great fastball, one of the best in the Intercounty Baseball League, and he will look to throw it quite often if he wants success in this ball game. We'll get a look now at the London Majors lineup in this contest, and a few changes based on what we're used to here as Jacob Newton leads things off at second base. Robert Mullen, who's been batting cleanup for a lot of the season, will be catching and batting second. Cleveland Brownlee bats third, the designated hitter. Taylor Wright moves from the 2 spot to the 4 spot. He's at third base. Starling Joseph batting 5th in right field. Byron Reichstein is at first, batting 6th. Austin Wilkie bats 7th in center. Drew Lawrence in left, and Keith Candell batting 9th at shortstop.
You know what I'm really looking forward to is seeing how those 2 and 3 hitters, not a whole lot of speed there, so I want to see how they do on the base pads and are able to move along with themselves, as obviously Mullen's moving up in the order. It's an interesting move by the manager, so let's see how it works out today.
Mullen, not a guy who's got blazing speed at the top of the order, but he gets on base a lot. He walks more than he strikes out, and that's kind of what you want at the top of the order, right? Guys who are going to get on for you.
You need guys on base for, especially when you got a bopper like Cleve coming up behind, who last night hit a career-high home run.
Yeah, he set a new career high, single-season career high in home runs with 14.
So you want a guy on base so that those home runs mean a little bit more, right? So I do understand, but you can get that from some of the guys lower in your order, I feel. But at the same time, let's just see how Mullins can do it, because he is a fantastic hitter, and he's not a 0 in the speed category.
No,
he's not an 8, but he's not a 0.
They will face Rich Corrente, and we mentioned it briefly at the beginning of the show. He had a rough outing last time, but he was on a streak of winning 5 straight, I believe, Tyler, before that. So definitely a good arm for the Jackfish.
Yeah, and we're going to see, like we said, something a little bit different. A little lefty who's going to be very crafty. He's going to mix his speeds. He's going to try and work quick. He's going to try and hit his spots. So this is where it gets fun, when you see those two comparisons on the mound, the guy who gets the ball and throws it by you and the guy that's got to use a little bit more of his brain.
Jacob Newton will lead things off for the Majors, as he has been doing for the past month or so. For London, a great bat to have at the top of the order, hit right around, I think he was over 400 in July. Just a great month for him, and he's continued that so far here in the early stages of the month of August. Here's the pitch from Carente. That one will miss for ball one. Here's the 1-0. Newton on the ground, going to be a tough play over at second for Dupuis on a slide. Throw to first is in time. A great play by the Jackfish second baseman to record the first out.
Great job by Dupuis there, getting down to his knees, making sure he's able to short that. He got a late short hop there, able to corral it, get back up to his feet quickly, and throw it a very fast runner heading to first as well.
So Robert Mullen, will get a look at him in the 2 spot for the first time as he digs into the batter's box for the Majors. Behind the plate again, he's one of a few Majors who has played in every single game. He, along with Starling Joseph and Cleveland Brownlee, the only 3 who have played in all 35 Majors games up to this point. A called strike one on the outside corner to Mullen.
You know what, you mentioned that earlier, and that really surprises me as a catcher. That's a lot of time on your knees.
Here's the pitch, just off the plate, 1-1, and yeah, it's certainly a lot of wear and tear, but Mullen is built for it back there. A phenomenal catcher for the Majors, has been all year long. Carente working quickly. Here's the 1-1. Mullen lines that one straight back to the screen, and it's 1-2.
We get an early flinch by Dylan.
It wasn't a flinch. I was getting ready to catch that ball.
Okay.
Came through the net.
Sure. Yep. It's exactly what someone who flinched at it would say, too.
I had my hand up. I was ready to go. Into the windup goes Carente. Here's the 1-2. Mullen hit hard towards shortstop. It's Smybert. A throw over to first is in time, and Rich Carente has 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first inning.
This is what the Majors are in danger of today. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of strikes from Carente, a lot of strikes. So when the Majors put the ball in play, if the Jackfish defense can play the defense that they can play, it could be a long day for the Majors offense.
So Cleveland Brownlee will dig into the batter's box for the first time, and with Carente having so much experience in the Intercounty Baseball League going back to 2014 with Burlington, this is a guy Cleveland Brownlee knows very well because Cleveland has been around the league since 2010 with the Majors. Carente quickly into the windup. Here's the first pitch to Cleveland in the air. Foul territory. Cocker racing towards the screen. Going to be a tough play, and he makes it. A great play by Sam Cocker behind the plate as he sprinted towards the backstop to record the third and final out of this bottom of the first inning. The Majors go quickly in their half of the first. We'll take a quick break and be back with a second here on Majors TV.
Capturing emotion in every
second inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park between the Majors and the Jackfish. No score through one. Both pitchers have been on their game.
Yeah, exactly what we thought we were going to see. A lot of strikeout potential from Boone and a lot of balls in play by Carente. This game could either take a really long time or it could be really, really short.
You see on your screen there the dark clouds over downtown London here at Labatt Park, we're in a pocket of sunshine at the moment.
They seem to have passed over us with just a little bit of sunny opening.
Yeah.
The radar looked pretty scary there for a little bit.
It did, and it looked like it was going to clear up in around an hour, but still, I mean, that's an hour of rain here at Labatt Park, and likely not all of it intense. It just would have been a lot for the field to handle, but luckily, so far at least, we're through 1 inning complete, and we've got a little bit of sun on the field.
And with the fans making the trip and Welland making the trip down, you'd like to try your darndest to make sure you get this game in, and it looks like we are going to luck out a little bit here tonight.
Well, with playoffs so quickly approaching as well, you're going to run out of days eventually to make up some of these ball games, right? So the Majors and Jackfish both are hoping that they can get this one in here today at Labatt Park, so the Jackfish don't have to make another trip to London. That would be their 4th trip to London of the season, and if they can even find a day to play that game, as you get a look at some of the crowd here today, the 9U Lucan Ilderton Athletics on hand. Pretty good crowd for a Sunday night. I mean,
a Sunday night with a threat of rain. Very
absolutely,
good crowd.
Yeah. Mateo Porcelato will dig into the batter's box. He will lead things off in the top of the 2nd inning for Welland. Porcelato playing first base in this contest. He'll be followed by Ethan Hunt and Matt Hildebrandt. Boone working from the windup. Here's his first pitch of the 2nd inning. Squaring around to bunt is Porcelato. It's a called strike 1, and just as we saw Gio Morello get a bunt down on the first pitch he saw in the 1st inning, Porcelato tries to do the same.
And I know this isn't always the case, but it always seemed to me that it's the hitter admitting he doesn't feel comfortable being able to swing the bat.
Here is the 0-1. That's fouled off. Count moves to 0-2. That's an interesting point you make. As a pitcher, that's kind of what was going through your mind when you saw a guy square around on the first pitch?
It feels like he knows that he doesn't have much of a chance, and his best opportunity is seeing a third baseman back. The other option, obviously, is he just wants to draw that third baseman in to be able to slap that ball down that way. But either way, you're admitting that you're going to be late to the baseball.
On an 0-2 count, Taylor Wright is backed up to regular depth. Here's the pitch on its way from Boone. That's in the dirt for ball 1. We saw him approach Justin Gideon the same way, got ahead very quickly, and then threw 3 straight pitches in the dirt, and the count moved to full, where Gideon eventually singled. Boone into the windup. Here's the 1-2 home. Just off the outside there with a fastball, and the count moves to 2-2.
A good pitch there that just missed, but that's what you run into when you're 0-2 in a count, and you just constantly feed that ball into the dirt. If the hitter knows you're probably going to go to the dirt sometime, you need a pitch to be able to set that up. If it's just going to be drilled into the dirt, then the hitter can stay off it easily.
Here's the offering, swing and a miss, strike 3. So through 1 1/3 innings, Owen Boone has 3 strikeouts up to this point in what's been a pretty good performance so far.
And that was a better pitch you noticed before. They went with the fastball in the outside corner, just missed a little bit. Went back to that lefty with a changeup on the outside corner, just tailing away from him. He was a bit early, probably sitting that dead red and was ahead of it. Really didn't have a chance to make contact. Great pitch by Boone.
So Ethan Hunt will dig into the batter's box for the Jackfish with 1 away here in the top of the 2nd inning. To face Owen Boone. Hunt, a low stance. Here's the pitch. He fouls that one off. Bit of a quirky guy in the batter's box. That bat's moving around quite a bit. He's bent over a significant amount.
But you'll notice it's very important right before the pitch. He has to be steady. He's got to make sure his hand's back. Kevin Biggio does the exact same thing with the little bat over the head, but you have to make sure you're still at those checkpoints when the pitcher's getting ready to make the pitch.
Here's the offering from Boone, outside corner, strike 2. So he gets ahead of Ethan Hunt very quickly, just as he did Porcelato, and it's 0-2. Working from the windup, here's the 0-2 home from Owen Boone in the dirt, ball 1, as the breaking ball doesn't get a chase.
And we've seen that's the 3rd straight 0-2 count where they've gone to that off-speed pitch in the dirt. You need to mix it up. You need to go with the fastball just off the outside part, maybe a fastball up, even a fastball in, just to put a different kind of thought in that hitter's mind.
1-2 on its way. Here's the pitch. Just off the inside corner. Boone thought he might have had strike 3, but Jeff Rose disagreed, and his opinion is the only one that matters, and it's 2-2.
And there you go. Interesting enough, if you make that pitch on the last pitch, the umpire is kind of in that trigger-happy moment, being 0-2, having called 2 strikes before that you might get that call just a little bit quicker.
2-2 on its way. Here's the offering. Hunt on the ground, up the middle. Newton waits back for a big hop. Has to leap, quickly throw to first. It's not going to be in time. A ball hit right back up the middle that skipped way high on Jacob Newton is going to be an infield hit for Ethan Hunt.
Really nothing Newton could do there. That ball took a really big hop on that second hop, and he had to jump and go backwards now that his momentum's taken him to the outfield. Really didn't have an opportunity to get Hunt busting down that line.
So Matt Hildebrandt will dig into the batter's box. Hildebrandt batting 8th. He's a designated hitter in this one. Hunt taking his lead over at first base, not an overly big one. Here's the first pitch to Hildebrandt in the air into center field, and Wilkie will cut that one off. Hunt a big round. The throw-in will be cut off by Keith Candell. So it's back-to-back hits for the Jackfish, and they've got runners at first and second with one away.
That's what I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot of. Boone's been working ahead of these hitters, coming after them aggressively. So are they going to match that aggression and be able to swing early in the counts? Because that might be the best fastball you get.
We'll see if Tyler Dupuis has that same aggressive approach here as he steps in for the first time. The number 9 hitter for Welland has 2 runners on with 1 away. The same situation that Owen Boone found himself in the first inning. He retired the first batter pretty quickly. Gio Morello on that bunt ground out, and then the next 2 guys got on. First pitch from Boone to Dupuis on the way. Swing and a miss on a first pitch breaking ball.
There you go. That was a good thought by Mullins there, seeing the early swing on the last pitch by Hildebrandt, able to drop a curveball in there and get an anxious hitter to swing over top.
Coming set is Boone. Taking a peek back. Here's the offering. In the air, foul territory. Reichstein will give it a look, but that's well into the crowd. It's a foul ball.
You'd love to try and find yourself a double play here. You got tons of time running down to second. Got to be a little quicker to get it back to first. But with the top of the lineup looming, you'd love to try and get some kind of resolution here on the 9-hitter.
Boone looking in for the sign from Robert Mullen, ahead 0-2 of Tyler Dupuis. Would love either a strikeout or a ground ball right here. Taking a peek back at second. Here's the offering. Dupuis in the air, foul territory once again. Mullen will give it a look, but that's well over the grandstand.
Talked about it a couple times here in the first couple innings. Another 0-2 count, but they were able to go with the fastball there into the lower part of the order and try and jam them. You know what? You got a foul ball. You got a hitter and swing happy. I like the call there by Mullins.
So we'll try it again here on 0-2. Boone takes a peek back at Hunt. Here's the offering. Breaking ball. Misses the inside part of the plate. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Boone ready on the bump. Here's the pitch. On the ground towards third. Wright makes the play, throws over to Newton for 1. On to first. Not in time, says Chris Walters, the first base umpire. So the Majors get 1, but they don't get the inning-ending 2 ball.
Everyone really did their job there. A nice ground ball, good turn by Wright, good feed by Newton. It was just not in time to get a quick runner like we talked about in between Dupuis there heading down. Now you got to deal with the top of the order. Now you got to clutch up and get this leadoff guy and not have to get deeper into the 2, 3, 4 hitters.
So Gio Morello steps into the batter's box. Morello squared around to bunt, and Taylor Wright made the play to snuff that out in the first inning. Now he's got runners on the corners, and the Jackfish, with the speed that they've got and the willingness to run that they have, they may try to put something on here with runners at first and third to potentially score the run.
You would think early in the ball game, probably Mullins would throw down, try and get that runner.
Here's the pitch. They were off on the ground, right back to the mound. Owen Boone flips it to first base, and once again, 2 runners get on, but Boone's able to get out of it without allowing a run.
Good early pitch there, and kind of an opportunity missed by the Jackfish. You want to try and get deeper into that count unless you see an early fastball, but he was able to get a ball just off the end of the bat back to the pitcher.
We're going to have a look at the play over at first base, the near double play ball, to see that play once again. It's close. What do you think, Tyler?
I think he was safe. I always tend to err on the side of the officials as an official myself. But, I mean, that was so close. It was just a fantastic turn. That was the main thing, especially by Newton that we talked about on Friday. Didn't get to play a lot of second base prior to this year. So a good feed and a good turn. You just weren't able to get the fast runner. But you got your ground ball. You got out of the inning, and that's what matters.
Well, as we mentioned, it's sunny here at Labatt Park, but by all accounts, that's not the case around the city of London. Jeremy in the chat mentioning that it is pouring 11 kilometers away from Labatt Park. Matt Hiscox, the official photographer for the Majors, saying that it's pouring over at Highbury and Hamilton. My mom is saying it's pouring out by our house.
Yeah, my wife just texted me and said it's pouring, and we live about 4 blocks that way. So
yeah.
We just seem to be in that little pocket of no rain right now.
And we're going to take it all day long as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Rich Corrente on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. 7 pitches, all it took Corrente to get through the first.
That's kind of what we expected. Like we said, he's going to pound the zone a lot. He's going to make these Majors hitters put the ball in play, which is what you want to do. We talked about before the game that it would be really nice to get a Mark Burley-esque game today, and that's kind of who he reminds me of. He doesn't not going to overpower you with the fastball, but he is going to drop in those off speed, and he's going to work very quick to try and get you in and out. And I mean, what was the fastest Mark Burley game that Dan Schulman ever talks about? I think it was an hour 45. So if we could get in and out in an hour 45,
you're asking for a lot,
considering we're about a third of the way there now.
We move to the bottom of the second. Taylor Wright will lead things off for the Majors. First lefty-lefty matchup. Pardon me, Jacob Newton was a lefty against Rich Corrente. Right to left-handed infielder. Can play all over the infield. He can play first, he can play third, he can play short. We haven't seen him at second base, but it's probably in his toolbox. Here's the pitch from Corrente. In there for a called strike one to start things off against Wright. Into the windup. Here's the 0-1 home, right in the air. Shallow left field coming in Nicholson. He makes the catch, and that'll be the first out.
The problem is for these Majors hitters, you can't not be aggressive when he's going to pour so many strikes over the plate. You have to be aggressive because you don't want to find yourself down 0-2, even 1-2 in a count quite often, which is what you're going to end up doing if you're taking those pitches. You know what? I'm happy with it. Find a pitch you like, take a good swing at it, and let's see what happens. Second time through the order, you might see a little bit more confidence at the plate by the Majors here.
Starling Joseph will look to get the Majors into the hit column. The first 4 guys have gone down in order. Into the windup, here's the pitch from Corrente. That'll miss for ball 1. Working quickly, the 1-0 on its way from Corrente. Joseph lines that one straight back to the screen.
There you go. You get the first ball. You get behind in the count, and then you're going to get a fastball somewhere near the plate, which Joseph got there and took a good cut at it, just missing, fouling it back to the screen.
Here comes the 1-1 from Corrente. Joseph on the ground. Going to be a tough play if it stays fair. It's rolling, and the Jackfish let it get foul. So the swinging bunt from Starling Joseph results in a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
Smart move there because you really didn't have a chance to catch the speedy Joseph headed down to first base. Really, your only chance was to let it roll foul and hope it gets foul.
The pitcher was not going to get there in time. Corrente, the third baseman, Ethan Hunt, wasn't going to get there in time. It was just in the hole, and Starling Joseph will have to walk back to the plate and get set here for the 1-2. Here's the 1-2 home from Rich Corrente. Joseph in the air, left center field, hit pretty well. Going back on him, Morello, and he ran that baseball down. A great play by Gio Morello in left center field to record the second out of the bottom of the second inning.
Great track there by the center fielder. Morello able to get over into the gap and make the play with the wall looming quickly, but also a very good swing by Joseph. Got himself a good pitch right over the middle of the plate that was able to barrel up to the gap. Stay there. don't get discouraged by a catch. Make sure you stay in those gaps driving some baseballs.
Byron Reichstein will dig into the batter's box now for the first time in this ball game. Into the windup goes Rich Corrente. The first pitch is there for a called strike one on Byron. Here's the 0-1 from Corrente. Reichstein fouls that one straight back, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
Don't know how we got through an inning and a half without mentioning it, but boy, oh boy, is it hot in here tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've seen a few people in the chat mention the heat. It is a scorcher, very humid. Here's the pitch to Reichstein. That one will miss high, but the Jackfish and Majors still on the field, putting on a good show for us so far.
Happy we're playing baseball. Want to stay that way, but the rain also. I'm happy it's raining at home. Maybe it'll cool it down a little bit there.
The 1-2 to Reichstein, just off the plate outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Spent the weekend up in Chesley, Ontario, looking at our wedding site. Getting married in a barn, and there's no AC there, so.
Reichstein in the air, shallow right center field, coming in Gideon and Morello. Nobody's going to get there, and it's a bloop single for Byron Reichstein to get the Majors into the hit column.
Isn't that always how it works? A couple hard-hit baseballs find gloves, and the one that's just off the end of the bat finds the green, but the Majors will take it. So their first base runner finds first base tonight.
And not only is it the first hit for the Majors, it's their first base runner. Nobody's walked either. Rich Corrente, you may have seen it in the pregame pitcher's graphic. He doesn't walk a lot of guys, averaging just over 1 walk per 9 innings this season. He's very good at commanding the strike zone. He will face Austin Wilkie now for the first time tonight. Wilkie getting the start after coming off the bench in the previous 2 contests this weekend. Here's the pitch from Corrente. Wilkie lines that one to right field. Gideon racing over to his left. He's not going to get there. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Reichstein charging towards third. The stop sign gets thrown up from Casey David Pullum, and he will stay there. So 2 runners in scoring position after the double for Austin Wilkie.
Fantastic jump, fantastic read by Byron there, getting around second. Coming in hard into third. I don't know about you. I would love to see us end there with 2 outs, make the play be made at home plate, but I completely understand with the hot Drew Lawrence coming up to the plate as well.
Well, you know the arm that Gideon has. He's got a good one, and you assume that relay is probably going to be pretty accurate from the Jackfish. With 2 out, might not be a bad idea to test it, but Drew Lawrence had 2 hits yesterday, had a couple, I believe, on Friday night as well. So we'll see what he can do in this spot against Corrente.
Balk.
And a balk is called on Rich Corrente. So the Majors get on the board first as Corrente balks a run home. He's saying he was working from the windup, I think, and Brian Essery is going to come out to talk to Jeff Rose as well. Rose is going to speak with Corrente. Corrente asking what he did wrong. And my guess is, Tyler, with runners at second and third, he was going to go from the windup, stepped off, and a balk was called.
I think that's what Corrente is saying here, is that he was there, he stepped back with his correct foot to step off of the rubber. Now, to my eye, it did look like a balk. It looked like he started into his motion and then stopped, but I do understand what he's saying as well. If he did step off, maybe we can find a replay of that.
Pedro de los Santos earlier this season had a similar play where he balked because he stepped off the mound with the wrong foot. Jeff Rose and Brian Essery talking it over. We'll get a look at it now on the replay.
There it is there. That is for sure a balk. He steps back, rocks into his windup. And you know what? Completely right by the home plate umpire here. He did a fantastic job of taking his time, noticing it, and making the call. And you know what? I hope he knows that he made the right call, because that was for sure 100% a balk.
Yeah, it looked like he was getting into the windup and then just stepped right off. Brian Essery still talking to Jeff Rose as the crowd starts to get on him. Chris Walters taking a few steps in from first base, and Essery will walk back to the dugout now. So Drew Lawrence still has a runner on at third base.
It looked like Corrente started in and then wanted to go to the stretch, because now we see him in the stretch.
Yeah, he was going from the windup and then decided, you know what, I'm going to go from the stretch here against Lawrence. That one gets away to the backstop. Coming in from third is Austin Wilkie. And so Drew Lawrence steps into the batter's box, and 2 runs come in to score after just 1 pitch thrown. So Wilkie comes in on the wild pitch, and now I think Brian Essery is going to come out to talk to his pitcher to try to calm him down.
You know, just as we finish about talking about not, testing the arm on the relay from the outfield there, The Majors get two absolute gifts, a balk that scores the run from third, a wild pitch that scores the run from third, and Drew Lawrence is able to do it without really only seeing one pitch that was nowhere close.
Yeah. The only pitch he saw was in the dirt, got straight to the backstop, so that allowed the second run to come in to score after the balk allowed the first. So Esri comes out, delivers a message to Corrente, and now we'll hope that what he said was the correct call and get Corrente back on the right track here. Into the windup goes Corrente, the 1-0. Lawrence squares to bunt and takes a strike. Here's the 1-1. Lawrence hit hard and a great play over at first base by Mateo Porcelado. A dive over at the bag to make the grab on a hard hit line drive off the bat of Drew Lawrence. The Majors get two, one on a balk and one on a wild pitch. They lead 2-0 after two complete here at Labatt Park.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah. I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London.
Get a look at some of the younger folks enjoying today's ball game between the Majors and the Jackfish down the right field line as a few more run around back there, and we see a few that were playing catch a little bit earlier. It's a great place to play catch, as you said, Tyler, in this particular spot of the city.
This spot and this spot only, it seems like, of the cities where you can play catch. So if you want to play some catch, come on down to Labatt. If you're sitting at home in the rain, find some nice sunny conditions here.
Justin Gideon will dig into the batter's box with his team trailing 2-0 in the top of the third inning against Owen Boone and the Majors. Into the windup goes Boone. Here's the pitch. Gideon fouls off the first pitch breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Especially after a two-spot put up by your offense and kind of a weird way in the last inning. You want to make sure you try and get through this inning as quick as possible. Go right after the hitters. No free passes.
Boone shakes off Mullen once, gets the sign he wants. Here's the 0-1 home. Gideon takes that one in there. Some late break on that pitch, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Gideon. Breaking ball that'll miss high from Owen Boone. 1-2. Gathers himself out there on the mound. Looking into Robert Mullen for the sign. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch on its way. Outside corner called. Strike 3. As Gideon goes down looking, he doesn't like that call from home plate umpire Jeff Rose, and there's 1 away in the top of the third.
The 4th strikeout for Owen Boone already tonight into the third inning. He is dealing, able to find that outside part with the fastball, gets the call from home plate umpire. 1 down.
Brandon Nicholson will dig into the batter's box for Welland. He's 1 for 1 today. Single on a blooper to right field. This one he lines back up the middle, just out of the reach of Jacob Newton into center field. Nicholson digging hard, takes a big round around first base, but will stay there. So it's a one-out single.
It kind of looked like Newton was there and just couldn't get the glove down to the baseball. It didn't look like he was too far away. A great effort there, but the hard hit ball able to find the outfield for a one-out single.
So Sam Cocker comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Struck out in his first at-bat. He's got Brandon Nicholson over at first base, always a threat to run. Boone sets out there on the mound. Nicholson, not an overly big lead, now gets bigger. Inches back to the bag, and somebody telling Owen Boone to step off, possibly from the dugout, so he does. Boone nods along to Mullen. Quick throw over to first base. Back standing is Nicholson. Looking in, coming, set. Nicholson a big lead over at first base, so Boone steps off again.
Nicholson doing a couple jump starts, basically jumping towards second base. If you can catch him on one of those picks, on one of those jumps.
Here's the pitch to Cocker, in there for a called strike one. Boone peeks back over at the bag. 0-1 to Cocker. He throws over. Nicholson was on the move, and they don't get him on the pickoff.
That was exactly what I just talked about. He was hopping off the baseline, and he caught him on one of those hops. Obviously, we are not out down there, but it looked like a very good move and a very close play at first.
The crowd certainly reacted as if they thought he was out, and up here it looked pretty good, but Chris Walters down there said he was safe. Nicholson takes his lead once again. Boone holding on. Here's the pitch. In there, strike two.
And what the catcher will do sometimes, if you have a runner who is taking those kinds of leads, maybe who is crossing over, you will see the glove up, glove up, glove up, and as soon as the glove goes down, that's when the pick will go. It's obviously harder for Boone to see over his shoulder. Really easy for Mullins to see that runner.
Quick throw over once again. Back again is Brandon Nicholson. So 3 throws over and a step off for Owen Boone in this plate appearance, but he's ahead of Sam Cocker 0-2. The 0-2 home. In there, called strike 3. Owen Boone has set 2 batters down looking in this inning, including one of the bigger bats in the Jackfish order, Sam Cocker.
I do not know what he was looking for in that at-bat. He got 3 straight fastballs almost right down the middle and didn't offer at any single one of them, but Owen Boone will take it. Now 2 down.
So 2 away with Nicholson still standing over at first. Great job by Boone not allowing Nicholson to get in his head because he's a very fast runner over there who likes to run, and there's a pitch out for the Majors on the first pitch to James Smybert. Nicholson not running, and that one misses up and away.
You know what? I get the thought process there, but with 2 outs and a runner just on first, up by a couple, you might be good to focus on the hitter right now.
1-0, 2 out. Here's the pitch from Boone. Smybert fouls that one off. It's 1-1. Boone looks over at Nicholson. Nicholson will take a small lead to start, and as Boone comes set, that lead grows bigger and bigger. Quick throw over. Back standing is Nicholson. Only the one where he's looked like he was going on the pickoff from Boone, and he was able to get back safely. And that could have just been one of his hops that he likes to take.
It's interesting with a guy who throws as hard as Boone did. Smybart is standing as far up as possible into that box.
Here's the pitch to Smybert on the ground towards the middle. Newton gets it on the hop. Throws to first. Great scoop by Byron Reichstein to record the final out of the top of the 3rd inning. So the Jackfish get a runner aboard with Brandon Nicholson getting on base, but they can't do anything with it.
Good job by Newton there. As we saw earlier, he took a big hard hop that almost got over top of him. He was able to stay back on that one, still make a quick feed a little bit low. Byron does a good job of going out and get that.
Good play over there at first base by Byron Reichstein. We'll take this time to remind you to follow the London Majors on social media. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at London Majors on all platforms. If you haven't subscribed to us yet on YouTube, we strongly recommend you do. We hit 800 subscribers not long ago. We've been growing significantly throughout this season, up to 824 right now on the Majors YouTube channel. And we appreciate every single one of you. A reminder that if you want to give feedback on Majors TV, you can do so with the Majors TV feedback survey, which will be added to the chat here momentarily. If you want to give feedback on the broadcast, the broadcasters, the cameras, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want us to know about Majors TV, you are more than welcome to share it.
Preferably how handsome the broadcasters are. That's what I would. That's what I would prefer you focus on. You should plug your own social medias in there, Dylan. Make sure they know where to follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at dbakes11. And Tyler, you are Midi TSMS on everything?
Midi TSMS on everything across the board.
So the link to the survey is now in the chat, and we appreciate all of your feedback. We read it all, and we make sure to make adjustments to the broadcast based on what our audience wants. And we hope you're enjoying today's contest. It's been a good one so far between the Majors and the Jackfish. The Majors scoring their 2 runs in a bit of an unconventional way, a balk and then a wild pitch.
Those are the kind of runs that are going to win these kinds of games. When you're battling for first place, you take those given runs. You need to be able to take advantage, obviously, of those situations. Now let's keep building. You got to keep building on those runs, put some more pressure on this defense.
Keith Candell will dig into the batter's box now to face Rich Corrente. Candell, the only Major yet to hit in this ball game, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Here's the offering, inside corner, a ball and a strike. 1-1 on its way from Corrente. That's outside for ball 2. Two 2-1 home. Candell in the air, on the infield. Hunt calling for it, drifting towards the foul line, and a couple of steps back, he makes the grab for the first out.
As we look up outside of our broadcast booth here, the sky is not favorable for fly balls, so that was a very good catch by the third baseman, able to stay on that, drifting back towards the outfield.
We mentioned it already, it is a hot one today all over. We see Alan Ross in the chat telling us it was so hot in Toronto today, the Bushmen ran out of beer, and the Bushmen always like to have a good time at Christie Pitts down the left field line, and I'm sure they're out in full force despite the heat today. First pitch of Jacob Newton from Rich Corrente is flared into shallow left, and Brandon Nicholson will take a few steps to his right. He'll make the grab, and 2 quick outs on pop flies so far in the third.
And I know as soon as I say this, somebody's going to hit a ball very far over the fence, but off a pitcher like this, you don't want to be focusing too much on hitting the ball over the fence, even though the Majors do lead the league in home runs right now with 60. You're still going to be able to get that line drive swing. It's very favorable when you see that ball coming in at a slower pace than your usual, maybe catching a bit of the plate to swing as hard as you can. That's kind of the opposite. Stay within yourselves, keep that swing short, focus on line drives, and you will hit balls to the fence and hit them over.
Here's the first pitch to Robert Mullen in his second trip to the plate. He'll take a called strike 1 from Rich Corrente. It's 0-1.
By the way, the Majors leading the league with 60 home runs. Next closest, Toronto with 42.
Popped up, foul territory. Ranging over along the warning track is Porcelano, and he is there to record the final out of the bottom of the third inning. So the Majors can't get anything going in the bottom of the third as they go 1-2-3. We'll be back after this on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickert Promotions Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
The race around the base paths just wrapping up here at Labatt Park. The 3 winners are hanging around home plate right now. Here's our last runner. He's safe. Great job by all the kids running the bases. We talked a little bit about on Friday night about the race around the base paths, and you mentioned, Tyler, that you'd probably let one of your kids run the bases at least.
Would I? I mean, I would, yeah. Neither of them are, well, one's just learning to walk, and the other one seems like she's just learning to walk. Likes to fall quite often.
It's always a great time watching the kids run around the base. They always have so much fun, and you just hope that nobody falls over.
You know what I'd be interested in? I'd be interested to see how fast the 1-year-old could do it. Like, here, the better way to say it, how slow the 1-year-old could do it. Because I'm thinking we're looking at like a minute, 2-3 minutes on the base if somebody's with her. Now, she would also give up halfway between first and second because she is her dad's kid. Just sit down and eat some dirt, but I'd be interested.
Get the stopwatch out next time you're here as a fan and see how long it takes her.
Make sure I let you know when that one's happening because you're not going to want to be calling that game. It's going to take a while to get through the race.
This game's been a good one so far. 2-0 Majors through 3 full innings. Owen Boone on the mound for London has been pretty successful up to this point. He's struck out 5 through 3 innings of work.
Yeah, he's done a good job at getting ahead of these hitters. How many times have we seen 0-2, 1-2 counts? When Boone is way ahead, it's really tough to get hits off of him, so he's got to stay there. Now, you got to start mixing in some of those off-speed pitches, maybe some first-pitch change-ups, some first-pitch curveballs, so that Welland doesn't just sit on that fastball. But a very good job so far by mixing up pitches, mixing up locations, especially on those first pitches.
Boone at 47 pitches through 3 innings of work. He'll have to face Mateo Porcelato, Ethan Hunt, and Matt Hildebrandt. Porcelato was set down on strikes in his first at-bat. Then Hunt and Hildebrandt followed that up with a base hit. Boone looking in for the sign. Gets the one he wants. Into the windup. Here's the first pitch. That one will miss for ball 1. Looked like maybe an off-speed on the first pitch to Porcelato. Here's the 1-0 home. Outside corner, he's got it. It's 1-1.
A lot of movement on that fastball tonight from Boone. I don't think it quite has the pop we're used to seeing, but there is a lot of movement, especially to that outside corner.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here is the pitch from Boone on its way. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Exact same spot, gets the swing and miss there. But you can stay hard away to those lefties with that fastball. It's going to be very hard until the Welland hitters can try and stay inside and drive it over the third baseman's head.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 home from Boone in the dirt, and the count moves to 2-2.
You know, we've seen a lot of those off-speed pitches when Boone's been ahead of the count, just burying in the dirt. Maybe sometimes you want to mix that curveball that's just going to catch the outside plate. I think it's more Boone just doesn't have that feel for that curveball yet, still trying to work on it, not giving up.
We'll see if he can put Porcelato away for the second time here on 2-2. The offering on its way. Line straight back to the screen, and Porcelato stays alive.
Very good pitch there. High fastball. Porcelato was just able to get his hands to it and foul it back to the screen. But a good pitch by Boone.
2-2. Here's the pitch on its way from the Majors right-hander. That one's inside and in the dirt, so the count will run full now on Porcelato.
Not ideal. We've seen this a lot tonight, too, from Boone, getting ahead 0-2, getting ahead 1-2, but then allowing the Welland hitters to get back into the counts. Just go after them. Can't be scared.
Full count, nobody out. To the leadoff man, Porcelato. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called. And Owen Boone has strikeout number 6 in the ball game and 1 away here in the top of the 4th.
Don't know what the over-under was for strikeouts tonight, but if you took the over, you might have it. 6 strikeouts already for Owen Boone. Very impressive. 2 of them looking a whole lot of swinging. Good job by 3 looking. Great job by Owen Boone just hitting that outside part again for the 3rd time in that at-bat.
No Bet365 sponsorship here for the Majors. So no over-under on strikeouts as that one is hit hard. A great stop by Candell. Gets up quickly, throws to first in time. A fantastic play by Keith Candell over at shortstop to record the 2nd out of the 4th inning.
That ball was struck very hard by Hunt, just 1 step to Candell's right. Right. All he had was the opportunity to get down on that baseball, pick it off the dirt, get up, make a strong throw across the diamond. Very nice play by the Major shortstop.
So that'll bring up Matt Hildebrandt, and into the shift goes the Majors infield. Not quite as drastic as some of the big league shifts you'll see, but Keith Candell well over towards second base. Jacob Newton more in the hole between first and second than usual. First pitch to Hildebrandt will miss inside. Get a look at it on your screen there. Taylor Wright way off the third base bag. Here's the 1-0 home. Hildebrandt takes high, 2-0. Boone gathers himself after falling behind 2-0. Good hitters count here for Hildebrandt. Into the windup goes the Majors right-hander. Here's the pitch. That one will miss as well. So falling well behind Hildebrandt, it's 3-0.
Hildebrandt was putting on an absolute show in batting practice today. A lot of power in that left-handed bat.
The 3-0 on its way to Hildebrandt. Outside corner, strike 1. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Boone looking to get Hildebrandt as he swings through that one. It's a full count now.
Hildebrandt was anxious for that, looking for a fastball that he can obviously pull to the scoreboard. I think he was trying to hit it to downtown London, got that off-speed pitch, just swung right over top of it.
Full count, 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Boone into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back by Hildebrandt. Right on that one, just able to get a piece.
Another good swing by Hildebrandt, but another good pitch by Boone, just getting in on his hands, not allowing those arms to get extended, those big, powerful arms to get extended and drive the baseball. Good pitch, good swing.
So we'll do it again here on 3-2 with 2 away. Boone takes a breath into the windup. Here's the offering home. Hildebrandt in the air. Right field, not overly deep. Joseph taking a few steps in. He will make the grab, and the side is retired. So the Jackfish go 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 4th, and Owen Boone got some help from his defense.
Yeah, obviously great job by Candell there to get the 2nd out of the inning. That makes a huge difference. If I'm doing my scorecard right, and I don't know if I am, I think that's the first fly ball by the Jackfish to get caught.
We haven't seen very many balls in the air up to this point for Owen Boone in the ball game. He's mainly been ground balls. 18% of his outs have been, or 18% of the balls put in play, have been fly balls, and I don't know what that works out to.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst way to give me that information.
I would guess that's either the first or the second fly ball.
Somewhere in there.
I keep stats electronically, I keep score electronically, and it gives me the percentages.
I got the old paper and book. I do believe.
It looks like, yeah, that's the first flyout of the ball game. So 18%.
Apparently 18%.
Is one of the batters that he's faced so far.
Multiple batters.
Boone has faced 17 batters. So 1 out of 17 is 18% for future reference.
Well, there you go. Anyone heading to their high school calculus class tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, but in about a month I will be. Not looking forward to that. As Rich Corrente gets back out there on the mound to face the Majors. Corrente is only at 29 pitches through 3 innings of work, Tyler. In the first inning, he threw 7. In the second, he threw 15. And in the third, 7 once again.
That's exactly what we talked about. He's going to come after you, and the Majors hitters haven't done a fantastic job so far of putting the ball on the ground. Those easy pop-ups are the ones that are going to get caught more often than not. When you put the ball on the ground, good things happen. When you hit the ball on the line, good things happen. So keep doing that. You got to keep the ball out of the air, but he's going to come after you. You got to be ready to swing in that box.
So Corrente will have to face 3, 4, 5 for the Majors in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Cleveland Brownlee, Taylor Wright, and Starling Joseph. Brownlee popped out in foul territory. A great play by Sam Cocker, if I remember correctly, in his first trip. Here's the pitch. Brownlee takes that one for strike 1. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Brownlee in the air, fouled off. And the count moves to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Brownlee. Swings through the off speed, and Corrente sets him down on strikes here to start off the 4th inning.
First strikeout by Corrente. Good pitch on the outside part. Just got Cleve to just swing over top of him. That's what we talked about. You get the first pitch or you get first pitch strike. You get the second pitch strike. You swing over the third pitch. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. You are gone. That's how you keep your pitch count down through 3 innings.
32 pitches now after the 3-pitch at-bat to Cleveland Brownlee, and Taylor Wright will dig into the batter's box for the Majors. Wright 0 for 1 today. Batting cleanup in this one after several games batting in the 2 spot since making his return to the Majors. Wright absolutely belts that baseball towards right field. Gideon to the warning track, and he's got it. Thought it had a chance to get out, but on the warning track, Justin Gideon makes the grab.
Still a little bit of room there, but not a whole lot for Gideon with his arm back to the wall. Good charge in that by Wright. Was able to get the arms extended, get that out front. Just got a little too high.
It was very high
It was
up there.
very high. Lost it in the roof.
Gideon saw it all the way, was doing a great job of tracking that baseball, camped himself under it, and made a great grab for the second out as Starling Joseph will dig into the batter's box. Joseph 0 for 1, launched a ball into left center field in his first trip to the plate, but a great play by Gio Morello running it down. Retired Joseph. Corrente working quickly. Joseph will call time. So Corrente had to stop mid-windup and will step off to gather himself and reset. Into the windup. Here's the pitch to Joseph in the air. That one's going to get out of play. It's a foul ball. Joseph looks out. Corrente looks in. Here's the 0-1 home. Joseph hits that one hard right back up the middle, and Starling Joseph has himself a 2-out hit on a line drive single to center.
Second straight hard hit ball by Joseph. Remember, he hit one into the gap that was tracked down with the center fielder last time. This time he hits that line drive right up the middle, finds a little bit of green for the Majors' 3rd hit of the night.
So Byron Reichstein will dig into the batter's box for London. He had the Majors' 1st hit of the ball game. He popped a single into the outfield and came around to score on the balk.
Might see Joseph get the green light early here.
Corrente looking over. Here's the pitch to Byron. That one will miss for ball 1.
Pitching a tricky spot with the lefty on there. Obviously, you just got to go first move. You basically got to hope you guess right.
Joseph took a step towards the bag when Corrente went home on that last pitch. Here's the 1-0, not running. In there, strike one.
That's a good indication of a guy who's just more than happy to stay where he is. First pitch back, first sign of a pitch, taking the step back, making sure he doesn't get picked off. Not being too aggressive so far.
Here's the 1-1. Byron takes one on the outside corner, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Corrente looking to get his second strikeout of the ball game and retire the Majors here in the 4th. The 1-2 on its way to Byron. In the air. Shallow center field. Going to be a tough play. Going out the second baseman. Coming in, Morello, the center fielder. He makes the grab. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 4th inning. The Majors lead 2-0 after 4. We'll be back with the 5th after this.
Capturing emotion in.
Welcome back for the 5th inning as the water balloon toss just gets wrapped up. Some frustrated participants talking to their partners, and one very happy group who gets a free Majors t-shirt each for winning the water balloon toss.
I think I would willingly have that water balloon just shattered on my head right now.
It is hot. It's very hot. It's cooled down a little bit. I'm starting to feel the fan behind us a little bit more. I mean, for the first few innings, it's been back there working the whole game, but I wasn't really.
It was the hardest working member of this crew.
And that's saying something because everybody is trying to push through the heat here tonight in this one, and we're very appreciative of all of our crew here that helps bring you the broadcast on Majors TV, and it's been a great start to the ball game for Owen Boone, who through 4 innings of work in this one has an 18% fly ball percentage and has struck out 6 batters.
You know what, I'd just like to mention while we were talking about the crew, this is only my 3rd time being on the broadcast, maybe 4th time, I don't remember. But this is so professionally run. It is amazing. It is a credit to every single person who does this, so thank you to everyone here who makes this possible.
Thank you for being here, Tyler, and thank you for the kind words. All of our Majors TV crew. Our producers, Cal Johnstone, Jackson Farrow, cameraman Matthew Young, Curtis Hiscox, Jeremy McGrady, Kyle Brebner, Andrew Rourke, and Matt Hiscox. Everybody works very hard. Noah Smith as well.
Okay. A little far there, that last one.
We're ready for the top of the 5th inning here at Labatt Park. The Majors leading 2-0 over the Welland Jackfish. It'll be 9-1-2 for Welland here in the 5th as Owen Boone looks in for the sign. From Robert Mullen, the first pitch to Dupuis is in the dirt for ball 1. Boone gets the sign he wants. Here's the 1-0 on its way. In there, 1-1.
And going back to the pitch count you were talking about there earlier, the Majors are going to be heavily relying on Boone to get deep into this no matter how many pitches he throws. He's a big, strong guy. He likes to throw a lot of pitches, but that bullpen's been taxed over the past couple days, and still another one coming on Tuesday.
On the ground up the middle, going to be a tough play, and it sneaks through for a base hit, and taking a hard turnaround first was Dupuis. Not the first member of the Jackfish we've seen do that, as Dupuis has a leadoff single in this 5th inning.
Jackfish actually taking nothing for granted, running hard down those bases. Dupuis was flying down to first base, looking for that extra 90 feet if he could take it, but a good job by the Majors outfield to get the ball back in, keep that to a single.
We'll see if maybe the hit and run is on or the bunt with Morello at the plate and Dupuis over at first. Lots of speed on both ends here. Boone going to have to contend with Dupuis, possibly running. Has a small lead right now, but extends it as Boone comes set. Morello in his crouch stance, ready in the batter's box. Quick throw over to first base, and back standing is Dupuis.
Boy, Boone does not take anything off of those pickoff attempts.
Got to be ready over at first. Here's the pitch. That one outside. And the count 1-0.
It's going to be a good test, as we talked about off the beginning. Mullins just having a bit of a rough time yesterday in Guelph, making those transfers and throws down to second on the base stealer. So this might be a good opportunity for him to get a little confidence back, get those quick feet.
Here's the pitch. On the move is Dupuis. It's a hit and run. Ball is in the air down the left field line. Drew Lawrence headed towards the stands. That one will get back out of play, so it's 1-1.
A hit and run there by Welland, just getting the runner in motion in this ball game. You know, we're getting late into it now, into the fifth. The time you need to start pushing some buttons, pushing the limits a little bit. As he talked about, a very aggressive team.
A ball and a strike here with nobody out in the top of the fifth inning. A quick throw over from Boone again, but back, standing up once more, is Dupuis. Tyler Dupuis stands over at first base. Gio Morello in the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Mullen a throw over to first base, and it gets into right field. Getting up quickly and racing for second is Dupuis. He is in there, so Robert Mullen tried to back pick the runner, and that one will be an E2 as he threw it into right.
Dupuis with a lot of speed there getting to second base. I didn't think that ball got far enough away, but it just kind of died in the outfield before it got to Joseph.
And now the manager of the Jackfish, Brian Esri, has come out.
Looks like he's talking about maybe an interference call at first base.
Byron Reichstein right there listening along as Chris Walters speaks with Brian Esri, who will wander back to the dugout.
I think he wanted, but in the situation, the ball takes Byron into the line. So there's really nothing he can do there. And, I mean, your runner did advance. What did he want? Interference advance to third? You're not going to get that. You only get one ball on an interference call or one base. So an interesting argument there.
Well, the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Gio Morello with nobody out in the inning. A runner standing in scoring position with lots of speed in Dupuis. Here's the pitch from Boone. That's a good fastball, but it's just off the outside, and the count is 2-2. Boone up to 69 pitches here through 4 innings plus 2 batters. Two ball, 2 strike count on Morello. That one's hit on the ground towards first base. Reichstein fields it cleanly. Will go to the bag himself and record the first out of the 5th inning.
And just back to that back pick by Mullins. Obviously, that is a almost tailor-made double play ball if Dupuis is still on first base. But I'd like to see the aggressive by Mullins there. He is not taking anything for granted, and even with his struggles that we talked about, he is still being aggressive on that base pad, trying to get a back pick. So I'd like it. Stay with that game plan. Don't lose your confidence.
Does not hesitate to throw over to first base when he sees a guy taking a big lead, as Justin Gideon will dig into the batter's box now for the Jackfish. He's 1 for 2 today. Boone coming set out there on the mound. Taylor right in, so is Byron Reichstein. The corners are in, middle is back as the first pitch misses. Get a look there at right, off the line a fair amount. but in near the cut of the grass. Pitch to Gideon will miss inside, and the count is 2-0.
No harm here to walk a batter. That just puts a runner on first, puts the double play in motion, but still try and feed to those outside parts, see if you can get a swing and a rollover or pop-up, but no harm. First base is open.
2-0 on the big lefty bat. Here's the pitch on its way. That one misses high. 3 balls and no strikes. So a great hitter's count here for Justin Gideon. He's well ahead, 3-0. The pitch from Boone on its way. That'll miss high for ball 4.
All right, nothing hurt there. Now you have Nicholson coming to the plate, and you need to focus on getting the ball on the ground or getting a shallow pop-up. Go right after him after that walk. Nothing hurt, but you don't want to do it again to load the bases. So let's make sure you go hard after this hitter, see if you can get something on the ground.
Nicholson is 2 for 2 in the ball game, has a line drive single and a bloop single up to this point, so he's been on base twice. Gideon standing over at first base, speed on both corners, so it's possible the Jackfish put Gideon in motion here. He is running. The first pitch is high. The throw down to second will send the runner home. Throw to the plate. It's right there. It's in time, and Tyler Dupuis is cut down trying to steal home.
That's where you like to see a nice strong throw by Mullins there. A good job by, I didn't see who did that cutoff.
Candell.
Was it Candell? Another good strong stepping in front of the bag, making a strong throw home in tons of time. Wasn't a great jump by Dupuis from third.
Didn't have a very big secondary from third base. Was kind of close to the bag in case Mullen threw down to third. So Gideon stands in scoring position with 2 away. 1-0 the count. Correction, 0-1. On the ground towards second. Newton fields cleanly, throw over to first, and the inning is over. So the Jackfish pressed with runners on the corners, but the out at home stifled the rally, and the Majors still lead 2-0.
I'm still trying to figure out how you score that.
Caught stealing a stolen base for Gideon, and then a caught stealing 2-6-2, I guess, to get Tyler Dupuis trying to score. Now, Jacob Newton actually cut in front of the bag to cut that ball off, but left it, and then Candell back at second, caught it, and fired it home. So an interesting play there, but a great throw by Keith Candell. Great job by Robert Mullen applying the tag and getting what turned out to be a pivotal out in the inning.
That would usually be the shortstop that steps in front of the bag, just an easier catch and throw as the second baseman will go to the bag. Maybe Candell was just late there.
It's possible. But either way, the Majors are thrilled they got an out.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop, Railway City Breweries, Honors Against Drunk Driving, Dr. Alex Colson, Chiropractic, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Canada, MI Understanding Program, Kubota, Max Escobar, Mortgage Agent from Vine Group,
Rich Corrente back out there for another inning of work. It looks like we've got a defensive substitution for the Welland Jackfish over at first base. It doesn't look like that's Mateo Porcelato over there anymore. That is Hogan Brown taking over for Porcelato at first base. So Porcelato is done. And Tyler, I'm not sure I see anything that might have caused an injury perhaps, but you get a look at Brown there, the first baseman.
Porcelato 0 for 2 on the day with 2 Ks, but I don't think that would be a reason for substitution. Might just be some kind of illness, not feeling well. Had to go back into the dugout, maybe tweak something on one of the swings.
He came out and played defense in the last inning, and he's just been taken out of the ball game. Played the bottom of the fourth at first base. Did not hit in the top of the fifth. but he was taken out. So Rich Carente at 39 pitches through 4 innings will face Austin Wilkie, Drew Lawrence, and Keith Candell. Here's the pitch. Wilkie on the ground to shortstop. Smybert makes the play, fires quickly over to first, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the 5th. So Drew Lawrence, who is 0 for 1 in the ball game today, will step into the batter's box, lined out, and Mateo Porcelato, maybe this was what tweaked it. He made a great diving play over at the bag. It's possibly jerked something there. I'm not sure what the injury was or if there was an injury, but he's out of the ball game. Into the windup. Here's the pitch to Lawrence, in there for a called strike 1. Here's the 0-1 home. Lawrence fouls that one straight back, and the count moves to 0-2.
Been very impressed with the way Carente is going after these hitters. Really no fear at all, staying hard.
Here's the pitch. Lawrence will fight that one off as well, so he stays alive on 0-2.
Really no give in this. It's here's my best stuff. Let's see if you can hit it. And so far, really, the Majors bats have been stymied by the crafty lefty.
No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on its way. Lawrence on the ground towards second. Play will be made by Dupuis, who will throw over to first in time for the second out.
Yes, the Majors have 2 runs, but they came on some weird situations, a balk and a pass ball. Only 3 hits so far, and really only 2 of those were hit semi-hard. Hasn't been too much to build off so far for the Majors offense.
Keith Candell will look to spark a 2-out rally here as he digs into the batter's box with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch from Carente on its way. Candell squares, pulls back, called strike 1. Here's the 0-1 home. Candell on the ground foul, and the count will move to no balls and 2 strikes.
And really, we harp on this, but how many times have we said that tonight, Dylan? 0-2 count, 1-2 count. There's been consistently working ahead.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Candell fights that one off and will stay alive as the count remains 0-2. Carente only at 47 pitches through 4 2/3 innings.
Which really is incredible.
Yeah, it is. He's been fantastic for the Jackfish. Here's the 0-2 home once again. Candell scorches that one down the left field line, but it's into the bleachers, a foul ball.
You're looking at trying to average somewhere in the 12 pitch range per inning. That's ideal, but 47 pitches into the 5th inning.
Here's the 0-2 once again. Candell will foul that one off, so he's putting up a good fight here against Rich Carente, but still behind in the count 0-2.
If he can get a resolution on this pitch and get through 5 innings and 50 pitches, that might be something we've never seen before.
Here's the 0-2. Candell hits that one hard towards shortstop. Smybert picks it up, throws to first in time, and at 50 pitches, Rich Carente is through 5 innings of work here at Labatt Park. Tyler Middleton on the call. When we come back, you're watching the Jackfish and Majors on MajorsTV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah. I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of The Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth here at beautiful Labatt Memorial Park in the heart of downtown London. We take a look at some young Majors fans playing some catch, playing on the dirt hill on a muggy yet dry night here at Labatt. The Majors up 2-0 heading into the top of the sixth. Owen Boone back onto the mound. 76 pitches so far to get himself through 5 innings. Doing a really good job working around a couple walks, a couple hits. So far, a pitcher's duel. Now I can take this time while Dylan's away from the mic to mention the Smitty Mitty Show, which you saw on your commercials there. I know one of the co-hosts. He's pretty good. The other one's okay. Make sure you check us out, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. Smitty Mitty Show. Send us a follow, send us a message. Talking some Blue Jays this week, so look out for the episode wherever you get it. As Owen Boone makes his first pitch of this 6th inning, it's swung on and missed for strike 1. As this is Sam Cocker in the plate. He fouls one off himself. 0-2 again for Owen Boone. Boone just seems to be one of those kind of guys that I can't get away with only saying his last name or only saying his first name. I have to say both. It has to be Owen Boone. But that Owen Boone is up 0-2 on Croc. He looks and he gets a sign. Doesn't like the first one. Likes the second one. Comes set into the windup. And the 0-2 pitch is a fastball taking way upstairs. Crowd thinning out a little bit as we get deeper into the night, but still a really good crowd for a Sunday night as London loves to support their Majors. The 1-2 pitch is bounced at the plate. Good scoop by Mullen. It's going to even the count at 2s. Cocker 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single. And he's facing a 2-2 pitch from Boone. And here it comes. It's a fastball smoked to third, but right is White there. Makes the catch at the chest for the first out of the top of the 6th.
Really good play by Taylor Wright over at third base on that one. Smoked off the bat of Sam Cocker. He got all of that baseball, just scorched it to third, and Wright was perfectly placed to record the out.
So that's one gone. As James Sinburn will come to the plate. And take a first pitch fastball strike from Owen Boone. Oh for 2 on the day. Strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. As time is called at the plate, not quite ready. And we will do the 0-1 pitch once again.
Smybert hitting up near 400 this season, and not a guy who strikes out a lot, but Boone's had success so far.
Ball's popped up to left field. Lawrence is drifting back. He's got tons of room, tons of time, makes the catch, and we got 2 gone.
Good play there by Drew Lawrence, tracking that baseball down. Can be tough at times here at Labatt Park to track those fly balls, but he made his way back towards the warning track, just shy of it, and made a good play on that ball.
So 2 quick outs for Boone. It's going to be Porcelato. This ball is bunted towards third base. Rice comes in, bare hands it, can't make the catch clean. Ball is fumbled, and that's going to be an infield single.
Hogan Brown on his first trip to the plate after taking over from Mateo Porcelato drops down a bunt, and great effort there by Taylor Wright coming in from third base. Tried to barehand it, just couldn't come up with it cleanly, and so Brown was able to beat that one out. Boy, oh boy, the Jackfish can just run everybody top to bottom in that order. Can get down that baseline, and Brown uses his speed right there to get himself a base hit.
And, you know, no matter how many times we talked about the replacement, I did put it in my book. But Ethan Hunt's going to come to the plate. Hunt 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Boone set to the chest. He's going to check on the runner at first, back in plenty of time.
One of the things Owen Boone does very well is hold those runners on base. He throws over pretty frequently. He's done that all throughout the ball game tonight. Another example of that right there with Brown standing at first base.
And with as aggressively as he is able to make those pickoff swords first, you don't have a whole lot of time. It just shortens up those leads a little bit more. As the 0-0 pitch is taken for a ball. Don't know if Mullins got crossed up there. Maybe it was a pitch out, but he was up in his stance ready to make a throw.
Wouldn't be the first pitch out we've seen tonight from the Majors.
So that ball is taken inside. I don't like the pitch outs on the first pitch, if that's what it was. It just puts yourself behind in the count too early.
Yeah, you go down in a hole pretty quickly. I mean, the Jackfish like to run on that first pitch. We've seen it tonight when they've got runners at first and third, so I understand it, but at the same time, I absolutely get where you're coming from. You fall behind right off the bat.
That 2-0 pitch is fouled straight back to the screen. It's going to make it 2-1. But on top of that, your first pitch is usually a fastball. It's not your best pitch to run on. Very often, if you are the Welland Jackfish, you want to get deeper into those counts. You want to get those 2-2, 1-2. That's where you're going to get most of your off-speed pitches.
It's true, yeah, but the Jackfish feel with the speed that they get and the speed that they have, the jumps that they get, they're able to steal no matter the count, no matter the pitch. And most of the time this season, that's been successful.
There's a whole lot of speed on this team as Brown is down at first. Boone's coming to set. He's going to check on Brown once again, back in safely. Hunt at the plate. Very speedy himself, can get down that line. Going to be a very tough double play if the Majors can get a ground ball here. It's going to be a really tough double play with 2 out. As Mullins again with the back pit, the ball just gets away from Byron. He's going to come up with a strong throw. It's going to airmail Newton and catch Kendall on the backside.
Good effort there by Robert Mullen. Just could not get the throw on the money to first base, which got away from Byron Reichstein, and so Brown was safe on the attempted pickoff there, and another error. We'll see if that one's charged to Reichstein or Mullen on the throw over. You'd imagine probably the catcher.
I would assume that's going to be Mullen's second error of the game. So now Boone's got to deal with a runner at second and 2 out. Boone comes to the plate. Just outside, I guess, and that's going to be ball 4. As Ethan Hunt takes a stroll down to first on the free pass. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 down. For the big DH, Hildebrandt.
Yeah, Matt Hildebrandt digs into the batter's box now for the Welland Jackfish, and that one just missed. Like, I didn't know if it was low or if it was outside. And
I'm not too sure it did miss.
Yeah, it looked pretty good from up here. Mullen thought it was a strike. Boone thought it was a strike, but Hunt all the way was running down to first base. Maybe he sold that call a little bit as he stands over there after the walk.
So here's Hildebrandt, big lefty. Was able to see the ball very well in his previous at-bats. He takes the first pitch down in the dirt. Single in his first trip to the plate. Popped up to Joseph in the second, but a very good swing. Not a hitter you want to mess around with too much. So 1 ball pitch is taken upstairs. 2 balls now. And after 2 very quick outs in this top of the 6th inning, Boone just seems to be losing maybe a little bit. Getting deeper into that pitch count, deeper into the inning.
Up at 91 pitches now through 5 2/3 innings.
Still nothing happening down in the Majors bullpen. As Boone comes to the plate with a fastball driven right up the middle, just out of the reach of Kendall. And that's going to score the first run for Welland. As Brown is able to come around, touch home plate, hunt to third. Hildebrand holds up at first. We got Jackfish on the corner, still with 2 down.
Really hard hit ball there off the bat of Matt Hildebrand into center field. Just scorched it. Keith Candell leapt up but couldn't come down with that baseball as it was right into center for a base hit for Hildebrand, the Jackfish 7th hit of the ball game. And now runners at the corners, as you mentioned. Welland only down 1, tying run 90 feet away. Also some scoring updates. That was an error charge to Byron Reichstein, the first baseman. That allowed Brown to advance, and Hogan Brown's bunt single has been ruled an error by third baseman Taylor Wright.
So as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Majors come into this game with 59 errors. You can add 3 to that total so far tonight. As the first pitch was a strike to the number 9 hitter, Dupuis. Second pitch is driven into right field, and it's going to get down as the ball squeaks past. But Byron's right there, and that's going to score the second run of the game and tie it up. We are tied at 2s here in the 6th.
Good job there by Tyler Dupuis, the bottom of the order, doing some damage here against the Majors. Hildebrand with the line drive back up the middle, and that scored 1 run as pitching coach Brent Wales will walk out towards the mound here, talk things over with his pitcher, but Dupuis did exactly what he needed to do. He lined that baseball into the outfield, got himself a base hit, got the tying run home from third base, and extends this inning. The Jackfish bottom of the order was able to score a couple of runs here, and now they turn things over to the top with 2 runners on base.
And it kind of shows how important a 9-hitter is. Dupuis has been phenomenal so far. That's his second single of the game. The other one a fielder's choice. He was able to beat out a double play ball at first base. It brings lots of life. He's somebody who can definitely score from first on a ball that can hit the gap. So very important for the Majors outfielders as well to cut it off before it gets to the wall here. As the top of the order is going to stride to the plate, Gio Morello.
Morello in the ball game is 0 for 3. He's got a bunt ground out and a ground out to second, a ground out to first as well.
Bunted on the first play of the game.
First pitch of the game.
First pitch of the game. Let's see if Owen Boone can refocus as he comes set to the leadoff hitter. First pitch is bunted at, pulled back, and taken for ball 1.
Interesting that Morello squared around a bunt, possibly just to see what the defense would do, and he was looking to take that pitch no matter what. You got 2 runners or 1 runner in scoring position, another runner over at first base, 2 out in the inning. I don't think it's really a bunt spot.
This ball's taken on the outside part for strike 1, even up the count. I think it's more he wanted – Taylor Wright tends to play further back at third base. I think he just wanted to draw him in a little bit, say I can still do this. Because as you can see with the stance, more of a slap-ish kind of hitter. Can use that side of the field. Wants to just draw on that third baseman. That pitch is taken just off the outside part of the plate to move it to 2-1. You can see it kind of worked as Wright moving in, standing on the grass now.
Good breaking ball there from Owen Boone. Just did miss the outside part of the plate. Morello with a great take.
So Morello in the driver's seat, 2-1. Boone checks on the runner at second, back to the plate. It's a fastball swung on and missed. It's going to even it up. 2-2 across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 Jackfish on the bases. We're tied at 2s. A lot of 2s.
2s all over right now.
Boone gets a sign. He comes set. Lifts his leg and comes to the plate. Fastball on the inside part. Strike 3 called. What a fantastic job by Owen Boone to get himself out of the jam. That's going to leave 2 runners on with a tie ball game, but the Jackfish were able to tie it on 2 runs.
Yeah, the Majors got 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th inning. It was a line out from Sam Cocker to third base. Taylor Wright made a great play, and then James Smybert flew out to left field as the Majors congregate to listen to Cleveland Brownlee by the dugout. Get a look at it right there. Cleveland will do this often after a rough inning, just try to settle the guys in, get them going again as they head on to the sticks. The Majors are well positioned in terms of order. They've got the top of the order due up here in this inning, but going back to that top of the sixth inning, 2 quick outs, then the bunt kind of threw things off. I don't think the Majors were expecting a bunt with 2 out, and Hogan Brown laid one down the third base line, and Taylor Wright came in, bobbled that baseball as he tried to come up throwing. It was ruled an error against him, and then Ethan Hunt walked, and the error by Reichstein on the throw from Mullen allowed the runner to move up. So just a couple of errors in the inning have caused the runs to score, and good job by the Jackfish capitalizing. If the Majors are going to give you runners on base, if they're going to give you these run-scoring opportunities, you've got to take full advantage. Hildebrandt with a laser single right back up the middle, and Dupuis with a single as well into left field. So great job by Welland.
And you mentioned there, Cleveland Brownlee likes to talk after a rough inning. I wouldn't call that inning too rough by the Majors. You know, Boone made some good pitches. That error on Taylor Wright is a tough one. He's charging in hard. You know, even if he comes up with that ball cleanly, I don't know if that play is made. And even the error on Byron, you know, a back pick that just kind of glances off the glove. Obviously an error on somebody, but not like they were booting the ball around consistently making bad pitches. It was just one of those baseball innings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Jackfish were able to put the balls in the right spots, I guess, to capitalize on the Majors' defensive positioning, as Taylor Wright just couldn't come up with that baseball. And then a few bloops. There was a bloop. The hit for Tyler Dupuis wasn't hit overly hard, but it got over everybody into left field. So it just worked out for Welland, and they're able to score a couple of runs.
So the IBL's Mark Burley back to the mound. Rich Carente will take the mound again. 50 pitches through 5 complete. Very efficient tonight. Done a good job quieting those Majors bats as we see some stirring down in the Welland bullpen. I don't blame them. Pitch count getting a little high. Ball 1's taken low.
Owen Boone up near 100 pitches. Just a few guys standing around in the Majors bullpen. Rich Carente just threw pitch 51.
And 52 is taken outside for ball 2. Ball 3 is going to ride inside.
Carente just struggling to find the zone here to start this bottom of the 6th inning with Newton at the plate, who is 0 for 2 today.
3-0 pitch is high. Really nothing anywhere close in that at bat, and that's going to put the leadoff runner on first for the Majors.
Yeah, Jacob Newton did a good job right there, taking what Carente gave him. I mean, he was nowhere near the strike zone on quite a few of those pitches. He was able to lay off and just stayed patient at the plate, and he's able to reach base. This is exactly what the Majors need. They need a base runner to start things off. You've got Mullen, Brownlee, Wright, Joseph, Reichstein, Wilkie due up after this, so they get the leadoff man on. Newton's got plenty of speed as well as you get a look in the bullpen.
And as you mentioned, here comes the power for those Majors. Robert Mullen steps into the plate, the catcher. The pitch is fouled back over the screen.
That is the big 6'8" right-hander Brett Lawson warming up in the Welland Jackfish bullpen.
Would definitely be a difference in velocity when they go to make that move.
Absolutely. Completely different style of pitchers. A crafty, softer throwing left-hander and the big power righty.
First pickoff we've seen to first wasn't the best, but drives Newton back to the bag.
And not really an A move from Rich Carente right there. Just wants to keep Newton close. Make sure that lead doesn't get too big.
Usually when you see that B move, the A move's not too far behind. Carente comes to the plate. It's taken outside. 1-1 to the Majors catcher.
One of the things I enjoy in watching Robert Mullen at the plate is when he sees a pitch outside, he'll stick his hand out there and say, that's outside. That kind of shows the umpire, okay, well, Mullen thought that was outside for sure. That one missed the plate on the outside corner.
Reassuring himself, maybe trying to reassure the umpire as well. So the 1-1 pitch is also taken outside. pushed outside by Mullins. So Newton's on first, not an overly aggressive lead. 2-3 steps away from the bag on the primary. Corrente comes to the plate. The ball's hit up the middle. It's going to squeak right through. That's a base hit for Mullins. Newton digging hard. He's going to stay at second. Majors on the first 2 bags here to start the bottom of the 6th.
Great start to the bottom of the 6th inning for the Majors. Robert Mullen taking that pitch right back up the middle. And Jacob Newton might have had a shot to get into third base because the ball just kind of died in center field. And that's what we saw on the throw into right, the first one that Robert Mullen airmailed to first base on the back pick. It died in front of Starling Joseph. Right there, it just kind of stopped in front of Gio Morello. So Newton could have possibly made it to third base, but not a bad idea not to risk it with nobody out. You don't really want to push that with the bats that you've got coming up.
Not bad. Cleveland Brownlee will step to the plate. He was getting ready to step to the plate, but here comes the Welland manager.
We'll see if this is just to calm Corrente down because Esri made that trip after the balk, or if they want to bring in the big righty to face the big power bat of Cleveland Brownlee.
He's trying his best to stay in the game, but it looks like that will be it for Corrente. A phenomenal job tonight by him, as he will exit the game with 2 majors on, both his, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So it's going to be 5+ for Corrente, 2 charged. So we're going to head to break here. We will come back as the new pitcher steps to the mound. You're watching Majors Baseball.
Capturing emotion in every shot.
Welcome back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth here at beautiful Labatt Memorial Park. As you see the big 6'8" right-hander Brett Lawson taking the mound.
Brett Lawson, the 43-year-old 6'8" righty from Burlington, Ontario, is working in his 11th game this season. He's got 1 start on the year. He's got an 0-1 record of .411 earned run average through 19 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a save as well, so he started a game, he's closed a game, he's got 10 walks to 2 strikeouts. The strikeouts aren't really, 10 strikeouts to 2 walks. Strikeouts aren't really his game. He's more of a pitch to soft contact kind of guy, but standing at 6'8", that's a tough arm slot to see out there when you're at the plate, so he does get his fair share of punch-outs.
He does it all, and he's going to be asked to do something pretty big here for the Welland Jackfish, as Cleveland Brownlee is stepping to the plate. First pitch from Lawson is taken for a strike.
Brett Lawson, a guy who's been all over the IBL, played for Toronto, Barrie, Guelph, and now Welland.
He brings his glove up and down to his belt. To the plate with the 0-1 pitch. Is swung on, fouled back to the screen. Could take it 0-2.
Cleveland Brownlee well ahead of that one, just able to get a piece to fight that one off. Going to look to wait back on the next offering here as he's behind 0-2 in danger of striking out for the second time today.
That's where the move. It's kind of confusing, but here's Lawson to the plate. That ball's dribbled to the off the glove of the shortstop. It's going to hit into left field. Gathered there. It's going to be an error charge to the Jackfish shortstop, and that's going to load the bases with nobody gone for the Majors in this tie game.
Right there, I think James Smybert was more focused on getting the ball to second base. It was going to be a very tough turn with the placement of that ball from Cleveland Brownlee in the 5-6 hole. Smybert had to run a long way, played that on the backhand. It just clanked off his glove. He was probably thinking about the transfer a little too soon, and that allows Mullen to be safe at second and Brownlee to reach over at first base. Has been scored a hit, we're told.
So that's going to be another base hit for the Majors DH. It's going to load the bases. As Taylor Wright steps to the plate and takes the first pitch just outside for ball one.
Great spot here for Taylor Wright with nobody out, bases juiced. If he can't do anything here, you can pass the baton along because the Majors have lots of good power bats in this stretch of the order.
Wright just missing a home run his last time up. As that ball is dribbled to the first baseman. He's going to pick it up and make the throw home. It's called safe as he drifts off. The ball takes him off of the plate. The catcher confirms he did come off of the plate. That's going to score a run for the Majors. It's going to make it 3-2.
That is a great call by Jeff Rose, the home plate umpire, right on top of it. A very strong throw from Hogan Brown over at first base. Rifled it to the plate as we'll get a look at the replay right here. Here's the throw to the plate. You see the foot just slide off a small amount, and it looks like Brett Lawson is feeling some pain out there on the infield.
We saw on the tail end of that replay, if I don't know if we can get it again or not, but we saw on the tail end of that replay, Lawson throwing his fist to the ground in frustration, and I wonder if doing that, he maybe just seized up and pulled something in his calf as he's trying to work it out now. We're going to take another look here. There it is, and just a punch down to the ground, and then falls down in pain. And I just wonder if it tightened up maybe, and Lawson's going to be coming. Looks like he's going to come out of this ball game.
Yeah, he seems to be in a pretty significant amount of pain out there as he tries to work through it. That's a great catch by you, Tyler. I missed that completely on the play, and then the replay when he threw that fist down. I don't know what he would have done, but it doesn't seem to be an arm thing. It seems to be a leg issue.
Might have just been, it looks like he's seizing up, maybe just some hydration issues, but maybe that just quick motion towards the plate. So we are going to see a move to the bullpen. So as we figure things out here, we're going to take another break. You're watching Majors Baseball.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah. I have to say, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
capturing emotion in.
Welcome back to Labatt Memorial Park for this game between the London Majors and the Welland Jackfish. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning as a new pitcher takes the mound for the Jackfish. It's Chris Bowato.
Chris Bowato takes over for Brett Lawson, who left the game due to injury. Bowato this season has worked in 16 of his team's games. He's got 2 starts on the year. In 39 2/3 innings, he's got 4 saves as well. A 1-3 record, 40 strikeouts, and 9 walks. Bowato, last time the Jackfish were in town, took over for Chris Lazar, who also left with injury, actually, in that game. And absolutely carved up the Majors for a few innings, was a big reason why the Jackfish were able to come back and win that game. A fantastic outing for him last time. The Jackfish were in town 5 innings out of the bullpen, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. He'll be looking to build off of that here.
Bowato, of course, being given as many pitches as he needs, coming in for an injury for the injured Lawson, who seemingly struck the ground and maybe pulled something in his calf or quad area. Obviously not speculating any kind of injury, but just what we saw.
What it looked like to us was that it was a leg injury after he slammed his hand on the ground. So
yeah, we don't think
there.
It was the hand. We don't think it was the arm in any way. It was clearly his calf seizing up a little bit. Just, I mean, getting down from that 6'8" frame to the ground. Maybe just sometimes pull something. But Bowato's finishing up here as he is coming in a not ideal situation. If you're Chris, bases loaded, full of Majors. The number 5 hitter, Starling Joseph, is going to be coming to the plate.
Nobody out to go along with that, so it's a tough spot for Bowato to come in, and for the infield, if they are going to come home once again, less speed over at third base. Robert Mullins stands out there instead of Jacob Newton, and on a play like we saw the last play that Brett Lawson had out there on the mound, on the ground ball to first base and throw home. If it's Mullen running, there's a good chance Sam Cocker is able to get back to the plate in time to get the out. But because Jacob Newton came down barreling with blazing speed, just wasn't able to get back to the plate in time, and that allowed the run to score.
And, of course, Cleveland standing out on second as well. Not a burner. As the first pitch from Bowato was taken into the dirt, blocked nicely. Going to get a new baseball. Majors right fielder has had a very nice game. Struck the ball hard a couple times, finding one up the middle and one getting caught on the warning track. As this pitch is hit up the middle, just a soft liner to second base. Going to try to get Cleve back at second, but he's back in time. Just one of the soft liner to second, and that's one down.
Boy, Tyler, I thought we might see a collision over at second base. Cleveland Brownlee, a lot of momentum going into that bag, trying to get back as quickly as possible. And luckily, Dupuis and Brownlee were able to avoid a collision out there. Brownlee back safely for the Majors. So a bit of an easier spot now for Bowato. Bases still loaded, but there is one out, so a double play could get you out of this inning.
I do like Cleve's chances in that collision.
Yes. Dupuis, not only a smaller guy in general, but Brownlee with all that momentum, like that was Cleveland's matchup.
Byron Reinstein's going to step to the plate. He's going to take ball 1 down in the dirt. Ball 2 is called. A strike on the outside corner. Generous call there by the home plate umpire. It's going to even us up at ones.
I feel like that's kind of how it's been for Byron Reichstein in his previous 2 at-bats as well. Takes ball 1, and then a pitch on the outside corner gets called a strike. That's how it's been. That's been the plan of attack so far for Corrente and now Bowato out there on the mound.
The 1-1 pitch is swung through on a high fastball. It's going to bring it to 1-2 on the Majors' first baseman. Byron coming into the year late to the Majors, but a welcomed piece. As his fastball swung on and missed, Byron goes down, and that's 2.
That's a huge out for Chris Bowato right there. Gets a strikeout of one of the bigger bats in this Majors order. And considering the spot he came into, bases loaded, nobody out, already a run home. He's performed so well in this situation for the Jackfish. 2 quick outs, a soft line drive to second, and then the strikeout of Byron Reichstein. Has 2 outs, bases are still loaded, but he's limited the damage up to this point. Has 1 more out to get.
So all of a sudden, a pretty big at bat here as the Major center fielder, Austin Wilkie, will step to the plate. You would love to get more than just one after having the bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch, once again taken down in the dirt. Runners take their lead from the bases. Pitch is called low to bring it to 2-0. Boy, Bowato has done a fantastic job so far coming in, getting the first two batters he has faced. He comes set again. The 2-ball pitch is taken high. Now if you're Wilkie, you can sit on something and swing hard. Obviously, got to come after you with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Chris Bowato has to come into the strike zone right here. So if you're Wilkie, you just sit on one you know you can drive, and hopefully that's what Bowato throws because you know it's going to be in the zone here on 3-0.
Would you give him the green light?
I would give him the green light in this spot, I think so. I mean, 2 away, it's got to be a strike.
You can't get over excited. You got to find your pitch and drive it. He does probably the smart thing, takes a fastball at the upper part of the zone. For strike one, 3-1, still ahead in the count is Wilkie. As he steps back into the box, touches both sides of the plate, points at the pitcher, and comes set. Swung on and fouled at the plate. That's going to bring us full, so the runners will be on the move. Full count, 2 out here. As Bowato's looking to work his way out of a terrible situation.
Found himself in a rough spot by no fault of his own. Came into a tough situation. Bases loaded, nobody out, but he got 2 quick ones. A flare from Starling Joseph and then a strikeout of Byron Reichstein.
Bowato set. He kicks, checks on the runner at second. Cleve took off, but obviously nobody there. It's not a balk. I don't know why everyone's yelling.
Crowd is up in arms about that, but
don't know how else to put it, but it's just simply not a balk.
Good spin move there from Chris Bowato to chase back Cleveland. Cleveland got caught off guard, but luckily for him, nobody even in the vicinity of second base.
So Bowato set again. This time he comes to the plate. The full count pitch is hit in the air, deep to left field. And gone! A grand slam for Austin Wilkie. Boy, nobody seemed to know where that baseball was. I was definitely confused, but that was hit high. That was hit deep. The full count pitch is taken over the left field fence for a 4-run home run for the Major center fielder.
Austin Wilkie has loads of pop. He always gives you a good at-bat, and he laced that baseball to left center field. Plenty of carry on it, plenty of charge into it, and it just traveled all the way over the left center field fence. A bomb for Austin Wilkie, a grand slam for Austin Wilkie, and the Majors extend the lead to 7-2.
All of a sudden, the Majors feel quite comfortable with a 7-2 lead. As we take a look at that, just a fantastic swing getting into his count. As we mentioned, 3-0 taking a pitch, 3-1 taking a good swing at it, finding the pitch you wanted to hit, 3-2, and not missing it. Bowato was 1 pitch away from getting out of a tricky situation, and that 1 pitch finds the trees. So now this is Drew Lawrence stepping in. He's quickly ahead, 2 balls and no strikes.
Bowato missed the strike zone a couple times here to start the at-bat against Drew Lawrence. Lawrence, no home runs yet on the year.
A big swing and miss, was looking for the first one there. Comes up empty, 2-1.
Now, Tyler, that's Austin Wilkie's 2nd Grand Slam, I believe, this season. Had 1 in Toronto. He and Dan Perrier both have 2 Grand Slams this year.
3-1 now.
If you're Lawrence, you got to make sure that you're looking for your pitch right now in this spot. He can't be chasing anything. It's 3-1. He's got one strike, but it's still got to be perfect.
He takes a fastball in the inside part. It's going to fill up the count. You could tell here at Labatt Memorial, everyone was kind of nervous, sitting on their hands, waiting for that pitch. But as soon as Austin Wilkie made contact with that baseball, the life that was brought to this beautiful, majestic field, as Drew Lawrence takes ball 4 down low.
Great job by Drew right there. Thought he had ball 4 a pitch earlier, but it was called a strike on the inside corner. Still stayed patient up at the plate. That one in the dirt. No real shot that Drew was going to swing at that pitch, and he's able to reach first. So now the speed of Drew Lawrence stands over at first base. Majors up 5, and Drew definitely a threat to run.
So the 9-hitter, Keith Candell, will step into the plate. Keith on Friday, last time I was here, 4 for 4 in the night. Very good day at the plate.
Going to look to crack the 0 in this trip.
He pops it up straight back. That's going to find the roof. So 2 of those runs on the Grand Slam are going to be charged to tonight's starter. One of them to Brett Lawson, and the 4th to Chris Bowato. Really evening it out across the 4.
Distributed the runs there, it seems.
Bowato set again. 1 strike on the Majors 9-hitter. Pitch is swung on and missed. Back pick towards first. Lawrence gets back in time.
Jackfish are thinking about Drew Lawrence out there. Bowato threw over on the pitch prior, just before that pitch, I should say, to check on Drew Lawrence, and then Sam Conker tried the back pick. They know that Lawrence has plenty of speed over there at first base, but we haven't seen him break yet in this at-bat.
0-2, great time to run. 2 pitches taken upstairs. 1 and 2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's going to do it for the 6th inning. The Majors score 5 runs on the Grand Slam by Austin Wilkie. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is Majors Baseball.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Welcome back to the Game Day London broadcast booth for the 7th inning of action between the London Majors and the Welland Jackfish. And boy, oh boy, the Majors opened things up in the bottom of the 6th inning. After they had given up 2 runs to tie the game in the top half, they score 5 in the bottom half to make it 7-2. There was a strange play to score the 3rd run for the Majors to regain the lead off the bat of Taylor Wright on the ground ball to first base. The throw came home and it pulled Sam Cocker off the plate, so they weren't able to get the force out at home. And then after a couple outs by Chris Bowato, Austin Wilkie dug into the batter's box and sent a ball over the Mothers Against Drunk Driving sign in left center field for a grand slam to give the Majors a 7-2 lead, which is where they sit right now. At 99 pitches, Owen Boone is back out there for the top of the 7th inning. He will face Justin Gideon to start things off. The first pitch is cut on and missed for pitch number 100. And 0-1 is the count. Boone into the windup. Here's the 0-1 home. In there, strike 2 on what looked to be an off-speed pitch that caught the top part of the strike zone. So Boone well ahead now at 0-2. Very passionate fan screaming "Go London" ahead of this 0-2 home from Boone. That's well outside. Easy take there for Justin Gideon, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Gideon in the ball game 1 for 2. He's got a single, a strikeout, and a walk up to this point. Here comes the 1-2 from Boone. Breaking ball. Gideon lines that one into right field. Joseph coming in. It'll drop in front of him. So great job by Gideon battling back and getting himself a leadoff base hit. Still no action in the Majors bullpen, though it looks like a few relievers are headed towards the pen right now. Braden Farrington, Connor Ambrosio, and Jordan Spring walking towards that Majors bullpen at the moment. Boone up at 103 pitches through 6 innings of work plus the 1 batter, as he'll now have to face Brandon Nicholson, who's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. It's 1-0. Boone coming set out there on the mound. Gideon standing over at first. Here's the 1-0 home. That one's well high. Good job by Mullen getting up there to catch that baseball. 2-0 is the count now. Boone will take some time to get reset on the mound. He's got a 5-run lead to work with now as some stretching going on in that Majors bullpen. Here's the 2-0. Oh, not sure where that one missed, but it's 3-0.
The key from Boone now, obviously your team puts you out to a wee bit of a lead. Make sure you attack these hitters, make them earn their way on base.
3-0 home. That one's in there for a called strike 1. Count moves to 3 balls and a strike.
Last thing you want to do is put yourself in trouble with a couple walks.
Looks like Braden Farrington throwing in the Majors bullpen, or about to throw. Here's the pitch from Boone. That's high for ball 4. So Nicholson will take a free pass. That is Boone's 3rd walk of the ball game. And Robert Mullen will head out to the mound to try to calm down his pitcher. Just a quick little trip. He's on his way back to the plate now. Get a look there at Farrington, throwing to Eric McClellan in the Majors bullpen. Boone takes a peek back at Gideon at second. Here's the first pitch that is in there to Sam Cocker for strike 1. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. The 0-1 offering. Cocker swings through that one. 0-2.
Good job by Boone to find his footing, obviously, after a 5-pitch walk. Being able to come right back in there and get up 0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners at first and second here. Boone readies, peeks back. Here's the offering. Called. Strike 3 for Owen Boone. It's his 8th punch out of the ball game as Sam Cocker is set down on strikes.
Not too often you see an 0-2 pitch taken right down Broadway, but that's what we got there. Good pitch by Owen Boone to get the first out of the inning.
James Smybert will step up to the plate now. He's 0 for 3 today. A strikeout swing, a ground out, and a fly out up to this point. Going to look to break into the hit column here as a runner in scoring position. The offering from Boone fouled off of Robert Mullen, and the count is 0-1.
Good job again getting back up 0-2. Getting right back in that zone, not being scared. It's what you need to do. Up by 5 runs here, getting late into the ball game. Thinking maybe we'll see Boone get through this 7th inning, hopefully. See if Farrington can get the last 2.
Boone at 112 pitches here. Ahead in the count 0-1 on James Smybert. Here's the pitch. Smybert in the air. It's on the infield. Infield fly is in effect. Keith Candell will bring that ball in, and that'll be the second out of the 7th inning.
He's at 113 pitches now for Owen Boone, but really that's nothing out of the ordinary. He tends to work late into ball games, tends to throw a lot of pitches, big, strong guy. He's methodical in that weight room during the off season, even during the season. He's out stretching an hour before his start, getting his weighted balls in, getting his band work in. So this is a guy who can be a workhorse and get late into ball games for you.
Takes it very seriously, always wants to be a front end of the rotation guy for the majors. He's got to deal with Hogan Brown now. Hogan Brown reached on an error charge to Taylor Wright in his last trip on the bunt. First pitch will miss for ball 1. Boone sets. Peeks back at Gideon. Got a pretty good lead over at second base. That one is cut on and missed, and the count moves to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to the Jackfish first baseman, who will step out of the batter's box, take a swing. Boone has the sign he wants from Mullen. The 1-1 home. Brown in the air, right center field. Joseph drifting over. He's got it. And Owen Boone is through 7 complete, having given up just the 2 runs.
Looks like it's going to be it for Owen Boone as he gets handshakes all the way around. A fantastic outing by him again tonight. 7 strong, 2 runs, 9 hits allowed. But he's going to get through those 7 innings exactly what the majors needs. We'll probably see Braden Farrington coming into the ball game as he's the only one up and warming in the majors bullpen.
Boone, another good outing here for the majors. In his last outing, we mentioned he went 6 scoreless against Hamilton. And here he goes 7, allowing 2 runs, neither of them earned against the Welland Jackfish in this contest. Just a great outing for the majors right-hander. The fastball seemed to be on it. At times the off-speed wasn't, but when he got himself into a jam, he was able to pitch his way out of it.
He did a really good job of getting ahead in counts, and then he was missing with those curveballs early. We talked about it, but he was able to find the release on that off-speed pitch and was a lot better. He found a pitch that worked for him. I think he moved away from the curveball a little bit more and found that changeup working off of the fastball and was able to ride that into the 7th inning.
So Chris Bowato goes back out there for the Welland Jackfish and obviously gave up the grand slam with the bases loaded, but came in, inherited a very tough spot. And aside from that grand slam, Tyler, a pretty decent inning of work for Chris Bowato.
Yeah, I mean, he was 1 pitch away, really, from getting out of there unscathed, but instead he gave up the big shot to Austin Wilkie. But you got to be kind of happy with what you got. 1 mistake tends to happen, and really, as we talked about, only 1 earned run charged to him on that play. He's put in a bit of a rough situation coming in after the injury.
Yeah, it's never easy. You get as many pitches as you want when you come in.
But it's still very
after
different.
Exactly. You're not warming up in the bullpen. You're out there on the mound. You know that everybody's waiting on you.
Exactly. I was just about to say, everyone is watching you, and everyone knows that they're waiting on you. So you feel like instead of taking your extra 2-3 pitches to make sure you're warm, you just want to get the game underway so you're not making this the crowd wait. And, I mean, that's quite the opposite of what you want to do. You want to make sure you're warm enough to make a decent pitch.
Absolutely. And in the bullpen, you got maybe a couple of kids watching you, asking you for a baseball while you're out there loosening up. But when you're out there on the mound, all the fans here at Labatt Park are waiting for you to finish up so the game can continue. But overall, a pretty good job for Chris Bowato in that 6th inning. He'll have to deal with the top of the order. The Majors had all 9 guys hit in the 6th, and Jacob Newton will lead things off here in the 7th, trying to be the catalyst of another rally. Into the windup goes Bowato. Here's the pitch in there for a called strike 1 to the lefty Newton. Playing second base in this one for the Majors. That one is in the air. Right field after it, Gideon. He is under it and makes the grab for the first out of the 7th inning. Looks like Daniel Gore also loosening up in the Majors bullpen.
Just kind of going through the motions, maybe just getting a side session in, but
Farrington the only one working off the mound right now for London. Robert Mullen will dig into the batter's box for the Majors. He's 1 for 3 in this ball game. A couple of errors behind the plate in this one, or just one, sorry. The other charge to Byron Reichstein. Here's the pitch to Mullen. He lines that one towards the bullpen, and good protection by Bo Lewington doing his job out there. Makes that grab to ensure Farrington doesn't get hit with the foul ball. Mullen behind 0-1. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that never broke, and the count moves to a ball and a strike.
you got to think Welland would love it if Bowato could get through this game and not have to dig deeper into that bullpen.
Mullen laces that one well early on it. Into the crowd, and a foul ball. Nearly a great grab down the left field line. Luckily, nobody got hit. Here's the pitch. Mullen lines that one back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. Here's the pitch on its way. Mullen hits that one hard towards third. Scooped up by Hunt. The throw to first is in time. Chris Walters pointing to the foot staying on the bag, and that'll be the second out of the bottom of the 7th inning.
Good hustle by Mullins getting down those lines. Getting down that line. I'm sure his legs don't feel the best after catching 3 games in 3 days.
Cleveland Brownlee will dig into the batter's box now for the Majors. 2 away, nobody on. Cleveland reached on a base hit.
Well, with a busy week coming up as well. Wednesday against the Panthers at Jack Couch Park. Thursday against the Bay Cats. And Saturday against Brantford. 3 and 4 for them coming up next weekend.
Here's the first pitch to Brownlee. In there for a called strike 1. Of course, the Majors also play on Tuesday, so it's 4 in, 5 days for the Majors?
Something like
Getting
that.
back to
About
Friday?
18%, if I remember.
Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Inside. A ball and a strike to Brownlee. I'm never going to live down that 18%, am I?
I mean, you didn't do it. If I knew how to do math.
Here's the pitch. That one's well outside for ball 2. 2-1 now on Cleveland. Another breaking ball that just didn't quite break over the plate. Bowato struggling a little bit with it in this inning. Here's the pitch. In there to Brownlee on the inside corner. He's not happy with that call. Looked pretty good from up here. 2-2. The 2-2 home to Brownlee. Misses for ball 3. Close, but didn't get the call. Here's the 3-2 home from Chris Bowato. Brownlee hits that one hard up the middle. Diving stop by Smybert. Gets up to his feet. Throws. Not in time. Brownlee will reach first base on what will likely be ruled a base hit. You'd think. Brownlee looked like he had that beat out.
Yeah, good play by the shortstop, diving, keeping that ball in front of him. Had some time to make a play, but had to rush it just a wee bit. Ball's just sailed a little bit. Leave us satisfied. We're taking the single. It's going to be lifted for a pinch runner.
Looks to me like that's Phil Whalen over at first base. You get a look at the Majors bullpen. On that last play, Smybert, the shortstop, a little bit slow to break to his left, broke to his right at first, and that might have been the difference as Taylor Wright lines that one into left field, and it's back-to-back base hits for the Majors.
Barehanded play made in the outfield there. That ball risked getting all the way to the wall. But instead, a solid single for Wright.
Not the first barehanded play we've seen in the outfield today. Starling Joseph made one in right earlier in the ball game.
We've seen some tricky plays in that outfield. We've seen some balls die pretty quick in that outfield.
Speaking of Starling Joseph, he will come up to the plate now for the London Majors. 1 for 3 today. Has hit a couple of balls very, very hard to center field. One that Gio Morello tracked down and one that dropped in front of him. In his other at-bat, he flared one out to second base. He's got 2 on with 2 away here against Chris Bowato. Here's the pitch. Joseph swings through a breaking ball. He's behind 0-1.
We did take a look at the Majors bullpen there a second ago. There is no way a baseball is getting through to Braden Farrington right now.
Reminds me of a soccer wall out there. They're all lined up. I wonder if they'll all jump in unison like they do in soccer to try to block the
It'd be interesting one
ball.
down that way. I think there would be 4 out of the 5 of them are going to bail.
That one is fouled off. We saw Bo Lewington make a play earlier, so you'd assume Bo is the one who stays and everybody else scampers out of the way. Starling Joseph behind in the count 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bowato looking to escape the jam with 2 runners on base. Joseph taps that one foul. Ready is the protection squad, but it doesn't get to them. So the count will remain 0-2. Phil Whalen stands at second base. He took over for Cleveland Brownlee after Brownlee reached base with the single. Taylor Wright over at first after he lined a hard one into left field. Here's the offering from Bowato. Fouled off, fought off by Starling Joseph.
Good job by Joseph 0-2 here, fouling off a couple tough pitches, keeping his at-bat alive. He's had a very good day at the plate. Hit a couple balls really hard.
Cheers from the crowd. I imagine that means that a fan made a nice play out there. Bowato looks in for the sign. Shakes Conker once, gets the one he wants. We'll do it again here on 0-2. And Joseph fouls another one off. Great battle being put up at the plate by Starling Joseph.
Some good pitches on the inside part, right on the hands of Joseph.
4 foul balls in this at-bat. 3 of those foul balls came with 2 strikes. Bowato executing his pitches. Joseph just doing a good job of fighting him off. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Joseph flares that one shallow center. Coming in is Morello. He's under it. He'll make the grab, and the side is retired here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're through 7 complete at Labatt Park. The Majors lead 7-2.
capturing emotion in every.
Welcome back to Labatt Park here as we enter the top of the 8th inning. There's a new arm out there on the mound for the Majors. We'll get that for you momentarily. But before we do, let's check out the standings in the Intercounty Baseball League. If you missed it in the pregame show, the Majors sitting a game back of the Jackfish. If this score holds, London would get boosted into first place.
Yeah, obviously the Majors looking to do that, and their closer is going to take the mound, Braden Farrington.
Majors trying to move into a first-place tie with the Welland Jackfish at 26-10 if the Majors can win this contest. Still some work to do as Owen Boone's outing is complete. A pretty good one for the Majors right-hander.
Fantastic job by Boone there. He had a little bit of troubles early in the game. Nothing too spectacular. A couple hard-hit singles, a little trouble locating those off-speed pitches. But as we've seen time after time after time, with Owen Boone, he's able to battle through. He's able to clutch up and get through 7 scoreless or 7 strong for the London Majors. As Braden Farrington on the mound, 1-0 this year with a 1.20 ERA in 14 games. 22 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 4 walks. Respectable year for Mr. Farrington so far.
Working in his 15th game this season, he finished off the one on Friday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, which ended by a score of 7-2. Loaded the bases in that inning. It became interesting, but he was able to escape without allowing any runs. We'll see if he's asked for 1 or 2 innings here. We saw Daniel Gore warming up in the bullpen, but we hear that Gore may be part of the plan on Tuesday against Brantford as the first pitch from Farrington misses.
Not a whole lot of movement down there in the Majors bullpen, so I'm assuming this is Farrington's game to take home.
The 1-0 on the ground, back up the middle, charging hard. Candell, going to be a tough play. Tried to barehand it and came up empty. So it'll be an infield hit for Ethan Hunt. And he's aboard to lead off the inning.
I think Candell had more time than he anticipated. He really had, time to go to that glove, transfer to the hand, and make the strong throw across, and instead tries to barehand a moving baseball. Usually doesn't work out well. He glances off of that free hand. That's going to put a runner at first base, lead off. Single, I would assume.
Has been ruled a hit. And Matt Hildebrandt will dig into the batter's box. Hildebrandt had a really solid knock in the inning where the Jackfish scored their 2 runs back in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Hildebrandt takes a big cut at that one and comes up empty.
Good pitch by Farrington there. Off-speed pitch on the outside part. Looked like that change-up. The one thing Farrington does is he does fill the zone.
No balls, 1 strike the count. That one just misses to Hildebrandt. It's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. A runner over at first base. Here's the pitch. Hildebrandt puts a charge into that one down the right field line. Joseph going back to the warning track. And that ball is long gone. Matt Hildebrandt with a moonshot here at Labatt Park, and he draws the Jackfish to within 3 runs. It's 7-4.
As we mentioned earlier, he put on quite a show in batting practice. Swings like that. A very, very nice swing. Able to catch that ball out front, hit it into the night sky. Finding the hill back in right field. Still tons of room for the Majors. Not really anything to worry about just yet.
So after the 2-run home run, Tyler Dupuis will step into the batter's box with nobody out. Now action in the Majors bullpen. Here's the pitch in there for strike 1. Looks like Bo Lewington is loosening up for the Majors. Farrington ready on the mound. The 0-1 home. On the ground. Going to be a tough play. Wright was playing in, protecting the bunt. Will throw quickly on to first and get the first out of the top of the 8th inning.
Good job by Wright there. Kind of the same thing as we saw earlier with Candell, except for Wright was able to shuffle his feet, make the move towards first, take the ball in that glove, make the transfer, strong throw, get the first out of this inning.
So that'll bring up Gio Morello, 0 for 4 in the ball game today. Bunted out to lead off the ball game, ground out the next 2 times, and a strikeout looking. Farrington setting out there on the mound. Here's the pitch to Morello. That one will miss inside for ball 1. Farrington over 162 innings coming into this game, 162 and a third into this appearance, 4.27 career ERA. That pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. This is Farrington's 94th IBL appearance. Dating back to the 2014 season. As that pitch will miss, it's 2 balls and a strike.
Also played with Farrington at Fanshawe College. Was a guy that will always do the extra thing for the team if it's, get into the crowd, sign some balls.
2-1 home. Morello hits that one hard. It's down the left field line. He's around first. He'll take a big turn and stop there as Drew Lawrence gets that baseball in quickly. So it's a 1-out single for Gio Morello, and the Jackfish continue to push here in the top of the 8th.
A lot of very aggressive turns at first for Welland today, but it's what you need to do, and a very good job there. Hard round around first, read the throw in, see it's a good one, get hard back to the bag. Some good fundamental base running has been on display by the Jackfish today.
So Justin Gideon will step into the batter's box here with Morello standing over at first base. And 1 away in the top of the 8th inning. Crowd trying to cheer on Farrington. The pitch to Gideon will miss for ball 1. Want to know the count. Gideon ready in the batter's box. Morello taking his lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Gideon high in the air. It's higher than it is deep as Wilkie will camp under it and make the grab for the second out. And Morello tags up and gets into second base.
Just what we talked about there. He went back to tag. Nobody was talking to the center fielder, Wilkie. And it's happened 10 times today where the guy bluffs off of first and heads back. Instead, he makes him throw the ball. Wilkie stands there. He pumps once towards second base, but doesn't throw the ball. And you know what? The runner just doesn't stop. He keeps going till he sees the ball, makes it in there easy. Another great display of base running.
So Gio Morello, after tagging up on the fly ball to center field, that was not hit very deep at times. If you see a guy that does take the risk of tagging towards second base, it's got to be a deep fly ball. Not the case. Morello just picked up an extra 90 feet.
No doubt in my mind that was just supposed to be a bluff, but if you don't make him stop, he's not going to stop.
First pitch breaking ball to Brandon Nicholson is in there for a strike.
It's not going to be an error in the score sheet, but it's definitely a mental error.
Oh, 0-1 the count on Nicholson with 2 away. Morello standing in scoring position at second base. Here's the pitch. Nicholson launches that ball down the left field line. It'll get up against the fence for extra bases. Morello comes in to score with ease. It is an RBI double for Brandon Nicholson, and it's a 2-run ball game at 7-5. Brent Wales will make a trip out to the mound now to talk to Braden Farrington as Bo Lewington continues to loosen in the bullpen. Wales going to look to calm his pitcher down, get him refocused, and try to set up a plan of attack against Sam Cocker, who is 0 for 4 in the ball game, but definitely a hitter to be wary of because of the pop that he's got, the June Player of the Month in the Intercounty Baseball League. Cocker on the year, 5 home runs, 37 runs batted in, a .369 batting average, has a runner in scoring position. Chance to do some damage.
Yeah, that visit was just to calm Farrington down a little bit, take a deep breath, realize that you still got some runs to play with here, so make sure you attack the hitter. A couple pitches finding the big parts of the place rather than working to the edges.
Nicholson dancing. He fakes a break. Now will go to third base. The throw from Farrington is in there, and Nicholson gets caught stealing. Farrington with a spin move, and they are able to get Brandon Nicholson trying to be a little over-aggressive, and that'll end the 8th inning.
That is undoubtedly a mental error by the Jackfish. He is in scoring position. There's nowhere to go. You're down by 3, right? There's no reason to take that aggressive lead there and try and advance to third. All it does, and Farrington times it perfectly, and gets himself out of an inning where he's struggling. That really helps the Majors.
Absolutely it does. A great job by Farrington with the awareness. He knows Nicholson loves to run. And we'll get a look at the replay here. Farrington, a quick spin move, throw to third, was in time to get Brandon Nicholson for the final out of the top of the 8th inning. There is a new arm on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. That is Davey Mendez. Tyler?
Davey Mendez this year, 1-0, 0 ERA, and only 8 innings pitched. He's got 20 strikeouts to those 3 walks. Very high strikeout to walk guy in 10 innings. Watching him warm up down to the bullpen. A lot of velocity, a bit of a sling to the side in his first year in the IBL.
Mendez from San Pedro, Dominican Republic, has been a great arm for the Jackfish out of the bullpen this year. No starts. 10 innings pitched in 8 games played. 8 games pitched, I should say. 20 strikeouts, 3 walks. Strikeouts per 9 of 18. He's got double the amount of strikeouts that he does innings pitched. And a substitution behind the plate, or correction, that was just Greg Marco getting his pitcher ready as Sam Cocker jogs back out.
So especially with who was up for the Jackfish in that inning, that really helps the Majors because it allows you to come back up with nobody on instead of that runner on second, get a fresh count. Just a huge swing of a game that, was getting closer by the minute.
Jackfish were pressing, but the pickoff caught stealing certainly works in the Majors' favor there. So Davey Mendez will have to face Byron Reichstein, Austin Wilkie, and Drew Lawrence. Another thing to note, that Davey Mendez, in his 10 innings pitched this season, and thank you to our good friend Dante DeCaria for pointing this out to me, 10 innings pitched, 8 outings, 20 strikeouts, 3 walks, no hits this year for Davey Mendez. He's been dominant.
So he's been good?
He's been pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watching his warm-up, and that curveball is really good. I like his live fastball. A lot of movement, hard.
First pitch from Mendez is low to Byron Reichstein for ball 1. Into the windup, the 1-0 home. Byron hits that one on the ground towards first base. It will be a foul ball. So 1-1 on the Majors' first baseman. One and 1 count to Byron to lead off this bottom of the 8th inning. The pitch from Mendez inside, nearly clipped him. It'll be ball 2. Not the kind of guy you want to take a hit by pitch from.
I would prefer to move out of the way if possible. Sometimes you just don't have time. But
2-1. Here's the pitch from Mendez. Reichstein on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Great job by Dupuis, ranging over to his left, throwing it on to first. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning.
One of those sneaky nice plays as that ball is taken Dupuis into the outfield. He's got to throw across his body. He's a good, strong throw. Brown's able to haul it in for the first out of the inning.
And that'll bring up Austin Wilkie. And last time for the Majors, Austin Wilkie went yard with a grand slam that really opened this ball game up and has proved to be pivotal now as the Majors are just holding on to a 2-run lead.
Turns out to be huge, and this is going to be quite an uncomfortable at bat, I would assume, for the right-handed hitters.
Wilkie takes the first pitch he sees out to right field. Gideon at medium depth is able to camp under it and make the grab for the second out of the bottom of the 8th inning. So through 5 pitches, Davey Mendez has 2 outs.
I like the aggression there by Wilkie. He's probably going to get a first pitch fastball. And if I was True Lawrence here, I would assume I'm going to get the exact same thing. So be ready to hit. Might be the best one you get of the at-bat.
So Drew Lawrence, who is 0 for 2 on the day, will dig into the batter's box against Mendez. Working from the windup, here's the pitch. Lawrence gets that one in on the hands towards first base. Throw over to Mendez, has to leap up for it, but he is over to the bag in time to retire the side. 6 pitches, all it takes to set down the Majors here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A clean inning for Davey Mendez, who maintains his hitless streak this season. We're off to the 9th here on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah. I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
9th inning here at Labatt Park. We're in the Game Day London broadcast booth. You get a look out there on the field where Brayden Farrington is back out there for the 9th inning.
Interesting call here by Roop to send Farrington back out. Obviously, he's kind of the closer for the team, so you want him here in this big spot. Let's see if he... A lot of trust. This is a lot of trust in your young pitcher.
Farrington will have to face 4, 5, and 6. Cocker, Smybert, and Brown for Welland. Lewington was warming in the 8th. He's stopped throwing here. Breaking ball on the first pitch from Farrington in there for a called strike. Here is the 0-1 home. That one will miss for ball 1 from Farrington. Here's the 1-1 on its way. Up and in, and that one will clip Sam Cocker. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of James Smybert after the hit by pitch.
Majors bullpen will get up and moving once again. If it is Lewington, I don't think he's going to need very many to be ready. He looked like he was warm and ready to go.
Lewington will get back up out there. Not throwing just yet as James Smybert digs in. First pitch from Farrington, breaking ball in there for a strike. Cocker stands over at first base. The 0-1 home. Smybert pops that one. Foul territory. Right will give it a look. That's out of play. So Farrington well ahead of James Smybert, 0-2. Comes set out there on the mound. The pitch on its way. That'll miss up and away. Ball 1. Get a look at the bullpen there. That is Bo Lewington throwing. Runner over at first base, tying run at the plate. The 1-2 from Farrington on the ground in the hole. Going to be a tough play. Newton's only shot is to first. He'll throw to Reichstein to get the sure out, but that allows Cocker to move up to second base.
Really good job by Newton. They're just getting over, making the play, getting that sure out at first. You just need sure outs right now. No way to really turn the double play there. Best you could have done is maybe get the lead runner, but smart move.
So with Hogan Brown due up, the Jackfish will go to the bench and call upon a pinch hitter. Zarly Sina will come into the ball game for Welland. To hit for Brown. Here's the pitch, popped up on the infield. Reichstein coming in, calls everybody off. He's there, he's got it. It's the second out of the top of the ninth.
Kind of the perfect guy you want to make that play, as Byron, traditionally an outfielder, seen tons of fly balls in his time, gets under it, makes the catch. I love Farrington there, does what every pitcher does and gets out of the way.
No, when he's here, always has a line that his coach Bob Lofgren told him. Your job as a pitcher on a pop fly in the infield is to get as far away from that baseball as possible and leave it up to your infielders.
The now Guelph manager, Dino Rommel, was my coach at OBJ, and I once got a fly ball that I caught the basket catch. He ran out, told me to never do it again. Went back to the dugout.
Ethan Hunt will dig into the batter's box with 2 out. He's 2 for 3 today. He represents the tying run. First pitch will miss low and outside for ball 1.
He also might have used a word that I can't use on the broadcast.
Dino's a great guy, a blast to interview. Always willing to help us out on the media side of things. 1-0 is the count to Ethan Hunt from Braden Farrington. The pitch on its way. Hunt in the air. Center field. Drifting back Wilkie. He's under it, and that's the ball game. The grand slam by Austin Wilkie proves to be the difference maker as the Majors take this one 7-5 in what turned out to be an exciting one at Labatt Park. The Majors can celebrate as they work their way back into a tie for first place in the Intercounty Baseball League standings, as both the Majors and the Jackfish move to 26-10 this season after this victory for the Majors. London got on the board early with 2 runs on a balk and a wild pitch. It was a bit of a strange way to start the game offensively. The Jackfish out-hit the Majors all throughout, finishing with 13 hits, the Majors 7. But that big home run for Austin Wilkie, the grand slam, is what put the Majors over the top and gave them a 7-2 lead at the time. The ball game will end at 7-5 as we welcome you back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. Tyler, the offense was pretty good for the Majors in this one, and this win is really thanks to that Austin Wilkie grand slam.
It was, but what we have to go back to is the phenomenal start by Owen Boone as well. 7 strong innings, finding himself, keeping the Jackfish at bay. He scattered, as he mentioned, tons of hits across this game, but was able to work out some pressure and allow his offense in Austin Wilkie to do what they do and hit balls really far.
Absolutely. It was a bit of a strange inning when Austin Wilkie hit his grand slam. The Majors loaded the bases. Brett Lawson came into the ballgame for Rich Corrente, who was pitching very efficiently, and then he got hurt. And Chris Bowato comes into the ballgame, and Wilkie is able to get the grand slam. A strange inning, but the Majors will take it.
And Bowato pitched very well right up until that last pitch, a full count, 2-out pitch that was able to be driven deep into left field by Austin Wilkie. The Majors will take it. A tie for first place. Still something to do on Tuesday.
So a great way to end the weekend for the London Majors. They are back in action on Tuesday to take on the Brantford Red Sox. They will be in town at Labatt Park for that one. You can follow the Majors on social media: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for all your Majors updates. Reese Dumani and Colin Ward will be on the call on Tuesday, and then again on Friday when the Red Sox are in town to take on the Majors. For our producers, Jackson Farrow, Cal Johnstone, cameraman Matthew Young, Curtis Hiscox, Andrew Wark, Matt Hiscox, and Tyler Middleton, my name is Dylan Baker. We'll talk to you again very soon.